so far a season that Canton wasn't expecting. So this will be a good matchup. Both of these teams are looking at playoff implications. Right now, Canton is in sixth in the playoff seeding, and Vermillion is in 11th. So Vermillion has a lot to lose. You know, each game is so important for them. So here's the hope for as Tanager fans that the Tanagers can come through. A win against Canton at home would be a good first start to making it to the postseason again. But we do have a few things coming up this pregame, and this pregame is being brought to you by Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment here in Vermillion. They've also made a purchase of Clark's Rentals over in Yankton. So Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is bringing you this pregame, and our corporate sponsor for all Tanager broadcasts is First Dakota National Bank. They have been proudly serving their customers for over 150 years. That is First Dakota National Bank. One thing we do want to keep an eye on is there are going to be a ton of games today and tomorrow. So just some of the scores that we're going to be keeping up with, and what might be the game of the night today is number one winner in 11B is facing number one West Central in 11A. They are both 6-0, and they are meeting at that game is at 7 o'clock in Winter. So we'll be keeping an eye on those scores. Also in 11A, Custer versus Hill City, Madison versus Lennox, and that will also have playoff implications. We have our game here, Vermillion versus Canton. Another game, and over on our sister station, 106.3, Classic Hits 106.3, brought to you by two-time South Dakota Sportscaster of the Year, Joe Van Gore, and his camera person, Vicky Geiser. We have Sioux Falls Christian hosting Beersford. That is a 4-5 matchup in 11A. So that's another one we'll be keeping an eye on. Sisseton is hosting Millbank. 6-0 Del Rapids, and second-ranked is hosting Chamberlain, the very team that beat Vermillion last week. Lakota Tech is hosting Dakota Valley, number 3 Dakota Valley. And Sturgis Brown is facing Belle-Fourche. Belle-Fourche is who we travel to in 2 weeks. We will travel to Belle-Fourche to bring you that action. But those are the 11A matchups. In 11 AAA, you are looking right now. Brandon Valley at number 4 leads number 5 Sioux Falls Lincoln 21-20. That's with 1 minute left in the second quarter. Harrisburg will be hosting Rapid City Central. O'Gorman, number 3 O'Gorman. They slipped a spot after losing to Sioux Falls Jefferson. Is hosting Sioux Falls Washington today. And Rapid City Stevens is hosting number 1 Sioux Falls Jefferson. And then tomorrow, again, on our sister station, Classic Hits 106.3 KVHT, Joe Van Gore and myself will be bringing you Sioux Falls Roosevelt as they host Yankton. The Yankton Bucks will be traveling to Sioux Falls to Howard Wood Field to take on Sioux Falls Roosevelt. In 11 AA matchups today, the Pier Riggs has traveled to Huron. Number 2 T area is hosting Spearfish. Number 5 Aberdeen Central is hosting number 4 Brookings. And Mitchell is hosting Watertown. St. Thomas More is hosting Douglas. And again, Sturgis Brown with Belle-Fourche, and Sioux Falls Roosevelt is hosting Yankton, and that is tomorrow night. In 11B, right now, Redfield leads Dakota Hills 45-13. Webster area hosts Aberdeen Roncalli, number 5 Roncalli. Again, winner in West Central. Jim River is hosting Trip Delmont Armor, Andes Central Dakota Christian. As I will always mention, Andes Central is the school that Pickstown Engineers went to when that school closed in 1968, leaving one Linda Harvey to graduate from Andes Central. So she is an Andes Central Eagle officially, but a Pickstown engineer at heart. Custer and Hill City. McCook Central Montrose is hosting Bridgewater Emory Ethan, who fell to 3rd after losing last week. Hot Springs is hosting Rapid City Christian. Elk Point Jefferson, who moved up to number 2, is hosting Tri-Valley tonight. Then in some Area 9-man football, Hanson is hosting Viborg Hurley. Kimball White Lake is hosting number 2 Wall. Number 4 Hamlin hosting Great Plains Lutheran. Platte Geddes hosting Coleman Egan. Corsica Stickney is hosting Freeman Marion Freeman Academy. Irene Wakanda is hosting Garrettson. Parkston hosting Bon Homme. We also have Centerville hosting Cologne. Number 1 Warner is hosting Esteline Hendricks. Lyman and Sully Buttes are facing off. Burke is hosting Gregory. And DeSmet is hosting Hitchcock Tulare. Lyman and Sully Buttes, as we mentioned before. And Gayville-Vollen hosts Arlington. So those are some of the games around the area. We'll be keeping scores, keeping you updated on that throughout the pregame and the halftime. So right now, we'll step away, and we'll be back with our coaches' interviews brought to you by Blaine's Body Shop here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, live on Vermillion Streaming on YouTube.
It's our biggest.
You are self-motivated, accountable, and eager to learn new skills. We'd love to talk to you about a rock star career. Masaba in Vermillion is hiring full and part-time manufacturing positions for the rock industry. Masaba provides comprehensive training in a clean, safe, and state-of-the-art facility. Masaba offers competitive wages, a fun and interesting work environment and culture. Join our team of rock stars. Visit masabainc.com to learn more.
You want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Interior technicians.
Hey, troublemaker. What'd you do?
What did I do about what?
Don't be coy with me, Jerry. All the ladies in the salon were gabbing about it. So why are you in hot water?
No. I'm not in hot water. At Intech, we use hot water. Our trained technicians use a hot water extraction process to deep clean your carpets without leaving behind any residue.
Wait till the bunko gals hear this.
Oh, brother. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
The first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Traveling to Vermillion for Tanager football, basketball, or just traveling through? The Red Roof Inn in Vermillion is a place to stay, offering great rates, clean rooms with an awesome continental breakfast. Red Roof Inn does whatever it takes to make guests feel comfortable, making your trip the best possible. And furry friends stay for free. Located on Cherry Street in the heart of Vermillion. Call the Red Roof Inn in Vermillion to make your reservation.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
And we are back here at the Dakota Dome, and we are heading into our Coaches Conversations brought to you by Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop for your car auto body needs here in Vermillion. So again, we want to thank our pregame sponsor. This is brought to you by Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, who have also bought Clark's Rental over in Yankton, as you just heard in the ad. Also our sponsor, First Dakota National Bank, who are proudly serving their customers for over 150 years. First Dakota National Bank with locations throughout South Dakota. And up first is our interview with Coach Lundstrom of the Canton C-Hawks. We'll bring that to you right now. This is Michael Schumacher with our Blaine's Body Shop Coaches Conversation. On the line with us is Rich Lundstrom of the Canton C-Hawks. Coach Lundstrom, how are you doing today?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Awesome.
Well, it feels like it's been a snap of a fingers, and all of a sudden we have 3 games left in the season. Has it felt like that for you, or is it just us outsiders on looking in?
No, it feels that way for us, too. It's gone by quick.
Yeah, it really has. Now, the Canton C-Hawks, your record's probably not where you want it to be, but a number of your losses have been to teams that are ranked, have high seed points in the playoff rankings. Now, I know those don't go down as wins on paper, but has your team been able to take some positives out of those games as you're working through the season?
Yeah, we've talked about it each time that, we've done a lot of good things in each game, but we just have had too many mistakes, and they cost us at each of them.
Okay. Well, now, you currently sit 6th in the 11A playoff seedings. Now, Is this something as a coach, there's 2 schools of thought. Do you discuss this with your team, or do you view it as potentially a distraction so you kind of avoid the subject altogether? Now, I know kids have access to all the information. They can go on the SDHSAA website as easily as I can, but is that something that they look at and that you guys discuss, or just kind of try to take it one game at a time and avoid all outside distractions?
We do discuss it. We have told them that we're in playoff mode now. We have to string together wins to make it to the dance, and then hopefully get on a run.
Well, I've been saying all year, you're right. 11A has so many good teams. Del Rapids and West Central are both undefeated, and I get that. But on any given Friday night, it feels like anyone can beat pretty much anybody in 11A. So it feels like it's a really 10, 11, 12 team class. And so it's felt like that, at least from the Vermillion perspective for me, that it's been playoff football for a few weeks now. And yeah, that it just becomes, the impetus is even more as we head into this. Heading into this game against Vermillion, what is your offensive game plan? What are you hoping to do? Is there something you see from their defense that you feel you can exploit, or something that is a strength of yours that you feel you can rely upon?
We just hope to have some balance. It seems like this year we've either run the ball pretty decent and then we didn't throw it very well, or else we've thrown the ball well but couldn't run at all. So we hope to be able to have a balanced offensive attack this week and straighten some things out with our line that has confused them. They're all new starters, so they're growing up under fire, I guess. So we're hoping that everything kind of clicks and we can run our full offense.
Well, and I think offensive line, a lot of people misunderstand how much technique and how much cohesiveness there needs to be just on protection packages, whether it's a run or a pass or run options, anything like that. It's very easy to see, the skill positions need to do this, but I think to the just general public, the offensive line is so underrated as far as how difficult it is, especially as you said, 5 new starters. They're still getting to know each other and each other's tendencies and strengths and weaknesses, even at this point in the season.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can have the biggest studs in the state, and if you don't have anybody to block for them, you're probably not going to do very well.
Well, and that is true. The offensive line doesn't get a ton of credit, but man, without them, you see the result on the field. That's for sure.
Yes.
Now, defensively, Vermillion is unique in the fact that, they've had now 3 different starting quarterbacks, 2 different starting running backs just through injury or circumstance. How difficult does that make it for you to set up a defensive game plan? Because they're very different quarterbacks
with very different skill sets, so it's hard to kind of game plan or know who's going to be doing what and get a real feel for what they do from a game-to-game perspective.
Yeah, we've kind of, we've kind of taken a little from both of them and are working to stop that. We are working on the little quarterback read run that they like with number 6 and 7, I think, and then 15 seems like he likes to sling it a little more. So, we're just working on everything that we've seen in every game that they've played. So,
okay, well, so far this season, you're 2-4. Obviously, you'd like to close out the season on a run. Anything that you've seen from your team that you're really taking into these final 3 games thinking, okay, we can ride this, whether it's offensive, defensive, special teams, or just pure emotion or energy?
Not honestly, not really.
Okay. Well, no, and that's an answer too. You just kind of take it game to game.
Yeah.
So, nope, I appreciate that. Any final words for the listening audience out there before game time?
No, I can't think of anything. Sorry.
Right. Nope, not a problem. Well, Coach Lundstrom, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. Look forward to seeing the Canton C-Hawks in action tonight, and I hope you have a great day. That was Coach Rich Lundstrom of the Canton C-Hawks on our Blaine's Body Shop Coaches Conversation. We'll be back in 3 minutes here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on Vermillion Streaming on YouTube.
Did you know it's easier than ever to find the live stream for your team now at FullerDigital.net? No more searching. One place for all your live streams. FullerDigital.net. Home and away. If we're covering your team, the live stream videos are at FullerDigital.net. Just click on your school and you'll find the stream. Thank you for viewing the FDS live streams, and thank you for sharing it with your friends and family so they can find the games too. FullerDigital.net.
Your crew is craving Pizza Ranch? It's easy to order online at pizzaranch.com. Online ordering makes it fast and easy to order craveable crispy ranch chicken or build your favorite pizza exactly how you like it. And now, for even more convenience, place your favorite order with just one tap. So when you're craving pizza or the country's best chicken, go to pizzaranch.com and start your order. For craveable food and convenient online ordering, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
Safe means you're sort of protecting yourself. My mom and dad told me how to be safe. It's like super duper important. Hold a grown-up's hands. Put a helmet on because you might hurt your head super duper bad.
Protect their future by protecting yours with your local State Farm agent, Dick Sunday.
Let's be real. You have a business to run, people to pay, money to make, and a life to balance. Good thing you also have First Bank and Trust. With our cash management solutions, you can issue payroll, accept payments, and manage cash flow, all while tapping into some of the best fraud prevention tools available. When managing a business is easier for you, so is managing a family. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Knudsen Family Dentistry in Vermillion, they strive to provide the highest quality patient-centered dental care in a friendly, relaxing atmosphere. Knudsen Family Dentistry works hard to provide the best cosmetic, general, and emergency dental treatment in the area. With over 50 years of combined dental experience, the latest dental technology, and a professional and compassionate staff, they're your top choice for dental care. Call for an appointment at 605-857-8008. Knudsen Family Dentistry of Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. This is Michael Schumacher, along with Jen Ashley here on KVTK Radio, ESPN 101.5 AM 1570, as we get ready to bring you the Vermillion Tanagers as they host the Canton C-Hawks. Again, both teams are 2-4. We heard from Coach Lundstrom. We did have a chance to sit down and talk with Coach O'Boyle, and we will be bringing you that right now. Give me just a moment. And here is Coach Tom O'Boyle of the Vermillion Tanagers.
This is Michael Schumacher. I'm talking with Coach Tom O'Boyle for our Blaine's Body Shop Coaches Conversation. Coach O'Boyle, how are you doing today?
Michael, I'm doing great. Having a great day. We've had a couple great days of practice, and we're getting healthy, Michael, and that's what makes everybody feel good. We've got a lineman back. We've got our running back, so it's we had a second half that after watching the film, we had a second half that we can build on offensively. And, Trill Sorrell certainly had an outstanding football game, and we like the chance of showcasing him on the opposite side of Zone Robinson. So we feel like, we're getting better with weapons and identifying how we can big play people, and having Jeremy Crow as the third member of the triangle, I think really have lifted everybody's spirits. So we're looking forward to a very good football game and a good football team Friday night in Canton that come in. But we think we're going to showcase Hayden Christopherson and do what he does best and ride his arm maybe a little more than what we, being a 50-50 team, we probably would like to throw it 70% of the time and take advantage of some space that we feel like the secondary of Canton allows us to do.
Well, and that kind of leads me right into my first question. You mentioned Jeremy, with that hip pointer, you weren't sure when you'd be getting him back. So it sounds like he's good to go for Friday. Is that correct?
He is. He looks like he has fresh legs, and he's a big part of our football team, both sides of the football and in special teams. So he's a important cog. He's doing a super job as a senior leader, and so it's really nice to have him back, and it's nice to see Roz Baylor back and with a lot more zip. He'd been out with pneumonia, so we're slowly getting some kids back and feeling pretty good about the rest of our season.
Well, and you mentioned Jeremy Crow and you mentioned Roz Baylor, and that is part of it. Last week against Chamberlain was rough. But you were missing some players, and unfortunately with Ty, Ty's gone for the season, so it's not something where you could say, well, next week we'll have this. But getting Roz to full strength or close to full strength, getting Jeremy Crow back, when you lose Ty, like you said, you're going to ride Hayden Christopherson's arm. He doesn't offer the running ability of Ty, which makes Jeremy Crow or that running back even more important. So heading into this, you just said you kind of have a three-headed or four-headed monster with Christopherson's arm, Crow in the backfield, and if you can have Sorrell and Robinson out on the split wide, that gives any defense, and Canton is no different, a lot to think about.
Well, I agree, and it's not that we're overlooking our other inside receivers whatsoever, but the Robinson and Sorrell have shown the big play capability as at times Connor Larson has down the seam. And you're right, Hayden gets better every day running the read option and the read zone, and so don't be surprised to see him pull the ball and scamper. He doesn't have the experience doing that, and being a freshman kid, it's a whole new world to pulling the ball and doing things like that on a varsity level. As opposed to a junior varsity level, but he's
his confidence is good. He's a kid that understands the game, and I think he's really studying to do a great job and watching film. And so we hope to be a team that's pretty dangerous offensively, and getting Roz and Jeremy back also fill two spots that we've missed badly on the defense. And so in getting two players back, you actually get 6 positions back when you add those 2 kids to special teams.
Well, and in addition to that, just it adds to the depth. And you talked about the defensive side. The defense against Chamberlain didn't play poorly. There was some running, and Hutmacher's a load. So he's he's the outlier. But they just really had trouble stopping him. There periodically was a big run, but it was really just more the 4, 5, 6 yard chunk plays that they were able to get all the time. And so getting Jeremy back and getting Roz and kind of filling in some of the holes on the defense, is that what you're kind of looking to do against Canton? Yeah, the nice thing, Michael, is we're playing regular humans. I mean, we're seeing guys our size. Exactly.
With the 2 Caterpillar tractors that Yankton, or not Yankton, but the Chamberlain had up front. Our pad level was good, and our kids got to where they would. We just couldn't move them. In our offense, we like pulling guards and pulling tackles and kicking people out, blocking down. And when you block down and don't go anywhere, that poses a problem. So, we like the fact that physically we're a better matchup this Friday, and feel like that's going to lean to our favor.
Well, and with Canton is historically one of the powers of 11A. Now they have suffered a few losses this year. Nothing, some that people might think, wow, I'm surprised they lost that. But they're always a team that you have to take seriously. What are some of the aspects of Canton's offense and defense that you are most concerned about or feel that could give you the most problems?
Well, Canton does a good job of being very multi-dimensional with their formations. However, they run the same plays, and so I would think if you ask them, they hang their hat on being a double tight wing team, whether that's a double wing with 1 back in the backfield or 2 wings, or 1 wing and 2 backs in the backfield. So they give you a lot of different looks. Their quarterback is very active. He's a very good play action guy, but I think they would like to line up and run the football. They run a lot of power. They run a lot of second back through. They'll break that and go to the eye and run ISO. They will fake the handoff and get tight ends in routes and wings in routes, so you can't fall asleep in the secondary. But they want to. I think Canton really likes to try to ground you and get after it, but they've proven to be adaptable to the defense they're playing. This football game, it comes down to 2 and 4 teams that are both disappointed to be at that point or have that record at this time of the season, and I think you'll see, all the kids play very, very hard, and it should be a good football game.
Well, you mentioned both teams being 2 and 4 and disappointed, and it's getting to that point in the season where you only have the 3 games left, and you start looking at the seed points, where every game for both teams will be important, in determining that potential for postseason. Not only where you might be, but if you're in there at all. So do you, as a coach, do you relay that to your team that we need this, or do you try to soft pedal that? Because with access to the internet and all that, kids can find out anything. I was just wondering, as a coach, how do you address that, or do you choose not to?
Well, we know our kids are smart kids, and they understand the situation as it is, and so there's not a need to harp on that. Nothing's ever desperate. You're certainly lucky in this life to be able to have the position I do, best job in the world, to be able to work with young men and teach and coach football and enjoy their smiles and ride the disappointments. But it's life's tough, and football teaches you great lessons, and it's how you get that you get up. It's not how you get knocked down. And so our kids, they know fully where they are. They understand there's certainly 3 chances left in this in this regular season to prolong the season. And so I love our attitude, and I love how our kids have embraced, where we are and what we need to do. And, we've had fun this week.
Well, that's good. And, one thing is, you just had the road trip to Chamberlain. How nice is it to be back home, where you don't have to plan for the road trip? You can spend Friday just kind of a normal day getting ready for a game. How does that make you feel more comfortable on a game day, being able to kind of go through a better routine?
Yeah, I think it really helps. Now, the weird part about this Friday is that the Vermillion Public School System, we have our parent-teacher conferences Thursday and Friday, so there isn't school on Friday for our students. So, you just got to talk to kids about keeping the same day-to-day routine, and don't lay in bed all day and don't lay in bed all afternoon. And, it helps you get through your walkthrough sooner. But it's really nice playing at home. It's really, how lucky are we to be able to play in the facility we do and have the relationship that we do at the University of South Dakota in their athletic department. So it's our kids are excited to be home, and we get a couple of those in a row. But I think you're going to really see us focus and play a good football game Friday.
Well, Coach, any final words for the audience out there?
No, Michael, I appreciate what you do, and Jen, bringing our games to the Tanager Nation and our faithful, and we're looking forward to putting on a good performance for everybody.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for the time and appreciate it, and look forward to seeing the game. That was Vermillion Tanager coach Tom O'Boyle on the home portion of the Blaine's Body Shop Coaches Conversation. We'll be back in 3 minutes here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion Streaming on YouTube.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Pup and Pack told me to keep this video simple, so I don't need to tell you about the great selections on drinks. You probably already know he has a South Dakota DMV Now kiosk to renew your license plates. Snacks, too many of those to even mention. Oh, and when you fill up at Pump and Pack, Kevin gives a portion of the money back to a charity. I guess I really don't know what to talk about. Simple enough. Pump and Pack in Vermillion.
Need a new set of tires? Look to Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford. How about some accessories like WeatherTech floor mats, Access roll-up truck covers, bed liners, remote car starters, and thousands of other products. Hey, you can look at everything at your convenience online too at carlsonsbodyshop.com. No wonder the song says,
Bring it down to Carlson's Body Shop, your complete car care center.
We're a little bit different here at Vermillion Federal Credit Union. See, unlike banks, we're a member-owned not-for-profit institution, meaning members like you are the owners, and the profits are returned through better fees and lower rates.
Hey you, down in front!
And since our members are our owners, we exist to serve you and make sure that you're as comfortable as possible here. So come on in and act like you own the place, because you do.
Open your free checking account today. Vermillion Federal Credit Union.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion, South Dakota Dome with our pregame sponsor, Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, as well as Clark's Rental in Yankton. Our corporate sponsor is First Dakota National Bank, proudly serving their customers for over 150 years. This is Michael Schumacher along with Jen Ashley. We're about 20 to 25 minutes away from kickoff. We've kind of gone over the games we're going to focus on as far as scores go. I apologize. As far as lineups, our lineups are brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermillion. For all of your HVAC needs, call Larry's Heating and Cooling anytime, any day. Well, let's start with the Canton C-Hawks. I was able to get this earlier this week from Coach Lundstrom. On offense, on their offensive line, and as you heard before, 5 brand new starters on their offensive line. And you're looking at the center is Hunter Richmond, who also golfed in the state meet. At guard, you have John Halverson, who's a junior, state placer in the state rodeo. At another guard, Casey Sheridan, a junior, who may start instead of John. Not quite sure. Wasn't sure earlier today. And then another guard, Chance Riley, who's a sophomore, making his second start. At the 2 tackles, you have Seth Plucker, who's a senior, whose mom, Emily, is their strength and conditioning coach. And you also have Dallas King. He's a junior. His grandpa, Gary, was an All-American for the Seahawks in 1963. At quarterback, you have Josh Merkel. He's a senior, captain, 4-year starter. He started at guard as a freshman and tight end as a sophomore. And so far on the season, he's 63 for 112 for 800 yards, 5 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. So it'll be interesting to see if how Vermillion schemes that multi-talented quarterback. At fullback, you have Bo Williams, who's a senior, 3-year starter, all-state fullback last year. So far in the season, 30 carries for 89 yards for 2 touchdowns. At the running backs, you'll see either Cale Ask or Cannon McCracken. They are both senior, or Cale is a senior, Cannon is a junior. Cale is a captain, 2-year starter, 49 carries, 331 yards for 4 touchdowns. And Cannon McCracken has 48 carries for 236 yards for 3 touchdowns. And your split ends, tight ends, are Matt Anderson, who's a junior with 25 receptions for 352 yards and 2 touchdowns. Braden Oakland, who's a senior with 13 receptions for 141 yards and a touchdown. Kane Wallner, a sophomore, 15 receptions, 188 yards and a touchdown. And Derek Teason, a senior, 6 receptions for 86 yards. On defense, Canton will bring Trown Cook, who's a junior with 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss. Rylan Larson at DN, sophomore with 20 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss. Another DN is Avery Hurting, senior, 4-year starter, 2-time All-State, school record holder of all sack records, 22 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss. At linebacker, Josh Merkel playing both ways, 2-year starter, 58 tackles, 1.5 sack, 3 tackles for a loss. Bo Williams, senior, 4-year starter, 41 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 6.5 tackles for a loss. Cannon McCracken at the third linebacker spot, junior, 38 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss. Teague Granum, sophomore, 11 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2.5 tackles for a loss. Kane Wallner, a sophomore, 2-year starter, 21 tackles, 2 passes defended. Cale Ask at another safety, senior, 3-year starter, 26 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. Free safeties, Braden Oakland, senior, 31 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, a fumble recovery, 1 interception, 3 passes defensed. Another defensive back, Matt Anderson, junior, 10 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 4 passes defensed. Corner, Tatum Ashheim, senior, 19 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 passes defensed. And another cornerback, Derek Teason, who's a senior, 24 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 8 passes defensed. Matt Anderson will do your punting. Dallas King will do your kicking. Long snapper is Vaughn Stensland. Punt returner, Matt Anderson. Kick returner, Matt Anderson, Kane Wallner, and Braden Oakland. Now, for Vermillion, as we mentioned last week, Ty Hertz is lost for the season. He's also unfortunately lost for the basketball season. They're hoping he'll be able to return for the track season. So that means Hayden Christofferson, the freshman, will be making another start. On the season, he is 30 of 71 for 512 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The leading rusher for Vermillion is Jeremy Crow. He's a senior with 52 carries for 236 yards. Jackson Heine, a junior with 16 carries and 62 yards. Sean Doan, a sophomore, who's reserve quarterback, 24 carries for 35 yards. This is the third leading rusher, not including Ty Hertz. For receivers, your leading receiver is Zone Robinson, a junior with 23 receptions, 321 yards, and 1 touchdown. Connor Larson has 9 receptions for 134 yards, 14.9 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. Trillian Sorrell is a sophomore, 9 receptions, 166 yards, 18 yards a catch with 3 touchdowns. That's something to watch next year. Zone Robinson and Trillian Sorrell split out wide opposite each other. And as well as Connor Rohrig, another receiver, junior, 3 receptions for 50 yards. Luke Knutson, 3 receptions for 7 yards. Jeremy Crow, 5 receptions for 18 yards. And Connor Peterson, 2 receptions for 15 yards. On defense, you're looking at Sean Doan, Connor Larson, Zone Robinson, Connor Rohrig. Your biggest players are going to be Braden Bickett, Connor Peterson, Carter Skogsberg, and Raleigh French and Roz Baylor. Those are the players that you're going to see a lot of and hear a lot from. A couple of games ago, you heard Raleigh French's name pretty much every possession. Doing the kick returning, Zone Robinson, Connor Rohrig, Connor Peterson, and Trillian Sorrell. Punt returns, Zone Robinson and Trillian Sorrell. Punting and kicking for the Tanagers will be Luke Knutson. So those are your lineups, brought to you by Larry's Heating and Cooling of Yankton and Vermillion. For all of your HVAC needs, call Larry's Heating and Cooling anytime, any day. We will be back at our Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment pregame here after this 3-minute break on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality healthcare, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Perfect night of sleep can be found with Slumberland's Sleep Solutions Center. Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy all feature. Don't lose another night of sleep. Stop by Slumberland of Yankton. Looking to update the family room? Look no further than Yankton Slumberland. Lazy Boy, Flex Steel Furniture, and more. All at your hometown furniture store. That's Slumberland of Yankton.
You can feel beautiful in your own skin. Candice Couture offers intimates to make you feel your best. Whether you want to feel beautiful for a night or you just want to feel frisky. Candice Couture also offers mastectomy bras, prosthetics, and nursing bras. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street, Vermillion. We are beautiful in every aspect life throws at us.
Last week, a guy walked into the UPS store in Vermillion. He did not notice the copiers, the printers, the mailboxes, the banners, the posters, not even the business and shipping supplies. It was like he had blinders on. Hi, this is Jay with the UPS store in Vermillion. Many people don't see everything we have to offer when they stop by the UPS store to ship their packages. They miss all the things we have, like printing, designing. We even offer notary services here at the UPS store, located on Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Feed has served the area for nearly 100 years with the goal to continue this local family-owned business for the long haul. Johnson Feed is proud to be a part of the Vermillion community with a facility ready to repair, wash, and sell tires for all trucks and vehicles. Johnson Feed has room for drivers too. If interested, talk to the friendly folks at Johnson Feed. They have over 200 company trucks to deliver products throughout the country and over 375 company employees. Johnson Feed wish the best to the Vermillion Tanagers this season.
Vermillion Medical Clinic has an ongoing mission to provide areas with quality health care and convenient access to medical professionals. Our patients at Vermillion Medical Clinic value our dedicated primary care physicians, compassionate PAs, and consistently scheduled outreach specialty care. If you have health questions, need a screening, or have medical concerns for yourself or family members, call us for an appointment or visit VermillionMedicalClinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
And we are back here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. About 10 minutes away from kickoff for the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton C-Hawks. As we've been doing every week, I am tossing it over to Jen Ashley, who's going to kind of recap the week that was in Vermillion Tanager activities. We don't just focus on the athletics, it's activities in Vermillion, and I will switch it on over to Jen.
So results from earlier this week, the Vermillion boys golf team were champions in the Class A state golf tournament, finishing 24 strokes ahead of second place. The individual places are as followed. Trey Hansen is 4th. Cooper Gerard was 9th. Carter Hansen tied for 12th. Carson Preister tied for 24th. And Cade Rivers finished at 26th. So the oldest golfer in that list was Carter Hansen, who was a sophomore at Vermillion High School. So we look forward to what these young men will do in the future. Volleyball.
The oldest was a sophomore?
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yep.
Holy moly.
So volleyball fell in 3 sets till Del Rapids earlier this week. The Tanager girls tennis also participated in state this week. So the results from that are Annika Barnett placed 3rd in Flight 2 singles. Casey Hansen placed 2nd in Flight 4 singles. Annika Barnett and Maya Halverson placed 4th in Flight 1 doubles. Casey Hansen and Abby Hansen placed 5th in Flight 2 doubles. And the team placed 6th overall. So way to go, girls, and congrats on a great season. DAC 12, the cross country, was also this week. So boys JV runners finished in the following places. Frankie Orr placed 13th. David Ordania placed 14th. Jack Krell finished 29th. Jacob Fisher, 43rd. And Cal Fulton, 46th. The boys varsity finished 2nd place by only 1 point and placed 6 athletes in the top 25. They are as follows. Jacob Chasinghawk placed 4th. Joel Dahlhoff placed 7th. Henry Anderson placed 8th. Jack Freeberg, 15th. Hunter Morris, 18th. And Emery Bonsack, 22nd. The girls varsity as a team placed 5th, and the individual placers are as follows. Taylor Barda, 7th. Callie Radigan, 13th. Olivia Formazano, 22nd. Lydia Anderson, 41st. Hetty Perez Palin finished 42nd. And Macon Barda finished 53rd. So great job to all Vermillion athletes this past week.
Well, thank you, Jen. Really appreciate you doing that for us, and it's great. And if anybody ever has any tidbits for us that they'd like to let us know about anything athletically, academically, about students, feel free to email me at michael@kvht.com. We try to stay in touch as much as possible, but if there's a tidbit that we need to know, somebody accomplished something, in any part of their scholastic activities, feel free to let me know, and we'll get that taken care of. We'll get them on the air. Maybe we can even reach out for an interview or something. Speaking of interviews, part of my pregame, I was hoping to have Garrett Olson of the Vermillion Band, but they're already playing, so I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. So I did want to discuss a little bit about this game. Vermillion, again, is 2-4. They've had some close losses, and the first 2 losses of the season were rough just because, they didn't have Ty. They didn't have any of that going on. So that was the roughest part. Oh, just a second here. So without Ty, you had a sophomore starting, and then you had a freshman starting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll be back pretty close to kickoff. So we'll be back on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Sometimes trapped at work, surrounded by 4 walls, working the same task daily? Well, here's an opportunity. Larry's is hiring for installers and service technicians. These positions mean that you are out and about at a job site with a different situation every day. No experience needed, we will train you. Larry's offers great pay and benefits. Apply for our installer or service technician position by stopping by our Yankton location at 2401 Broadway Avenue or online at larrysheatingandcooling.com.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works. You want a lumber yard that delivers more. The Lumberyard Vermillion has been going strong in the same spot now for 53 years, helping you find the building solutions you need, offering new technology with old-fashioned friendly small-town service, making the Lumberyard in Vermillion your building supply solution from start to finish.
Runnings in Vermillion is ready, hunters. Stop and take a look at their hunting stands. Runnings has an aisle full of decoys. There's firearms, ammo, waders, clothing, and much more. For the best shot at the animal you want to harvest this fall, leave it to Runnings for the help you need. Stop and see the friendly staff for all of your daily living needs at Runnings 2, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Runnings Vermillion.
You are self-motivated, accountable, and eager to learn new skills, we'd love to talk to you about a rock star career. Masaba in Vermillion is hiring full and part-time manufacturing positions for the rock industry. Masaba provides comprehensive training in a clean, safe, and state-of-the-art facility. Masaba offers competitive wages, a fun and interesting work environment and culture. Join our team of rock stars. Visit masabainc.com to learn more.
And we're back at the Vermillion. We're back in Vermillion, South Dakota at the Dakota Dome, as we're just minutes away from the Vermillion Tanagers taking on the Canton C-Hawks. Now, the Vermillion Tanagers, again, as I was saying before, and I apologize, I thought I had some audio issues, but I think we have that taken care of. The Vermillion Tanagers are 2-4 on the season. They came into the season with some pretty high hopes, and so that got off to a rough start. They didn't have Ty Hertz available the first couple of games. And they went 0-2, starting a sophomore, playing a freshman at quarterback. They couldn't get a running game going. So that got the Vermillion off to a rough start. They did pick it up. They were 2-3 heading into last week. And they were really hoping to come out of the Chamberlain game with a win. To be at 500, be securing their spot in the postseason in the top 8 for the seeding Unfortunately, they were not able to. Noah Hutmaker, he's just a beast out there, and he was just able to take it to the Vermillion defense, and Vermillion just unfortunately didn't have an answer. So right now, they're sitting at 2-4, and they really need pretty much all of their victories. And Canton is also sitting at 2-4 after starting off the season ranked. Canton has steadily dropped. They haven't lost a lot of big games by too many big scores, and the teams they've lost to have all been ranked. So that 2-4 record is a little deceiving. But that being said, Canton is always a powerhouse. Even growing up, 80s and 90s, they were a team that you just knew were going to be in the playoffs. So with that being said, Canton's just down a little bit this year. As it mentioned, starting 5 new offensive linemen, and that takes a while to become cohesive and to generate that team playing. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. So Vermillion, both of these teams are coming in looking for a win because a loss here really hurts their chance at a postseason berth. And, while we have you here, giving you a couple of scores, a couple of updates on the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard. Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford, your complete car care center since 1956. Only a few games have started. Brandon Valley leads Sioux Falls Lincoln 24-20. And that's at halftime. Harrisburg leads Rapid City Central heading into the half at 49-0. With 4 minutes left in the second, O'Gorman leads Sioux Falls Washington 17-0. And then Redfield beat Dakota Hills 52-13. And those are all of the games for now around the area. So like I said, we're going through the starting lineups here. The players to watch, Jeremy Crow will be starting for the Tanagers, and they are a different team when he can get his running game going. When he is able to get going, it just opens everything up for the Tanagers, and that's really what a freshman quarterback is going to need. Hayden Christofferson is really going to need that security blanket of Jeremy Crow, because Hayden Christofferson is a great quarterback. He has a great arm, can really sling it, but if he doesn't have that benefit of the potential for run, Canton's just going to be able to pin their ears back and attack. And that's going to cause some real issues for Vermillion if they can't get Jeremy Crow going. So Roz Baylor is starting at defense. Braden Bickett also starting at inside linebacker. Raleigh French at inside linebacker. Jeremy Crow, inside linebacker. Jackson Heine starting. Zone Robinson starting at corner. Another corner is Trillian Sorrell. And Connor Peterson as a safety. So they have announced their starting lineups, and we'll be preparing to hear the national anthem. And here's the national anthem, going to be played by the Vermillion High School Band under the direction of Garrett Olson. And that was a rendition of the national anthem. That was not the Vermillion High School Band. I did not catch the name of the singer. I apologize for that. But so that was the national anthem. And they will have their coin toss, and then we will be kicking off. So we will be back in 1 minute here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion Streaming on YouTube.
You want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you got to call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Interior technicians.
Hey, troublemaker.
What'd you do? What did I do about what?
Don't be coy with me, Jerry.
All the ladies in the salon were gabbing about it.
So why are you in hot water?
No. I'm not in hot water. At Intech, we use hot water. Our trained technicians use a hot water extraction process to deep clean your carpets without leaving behind any residue.
Wait till the bunko gals hear this.
Oh, brother. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
And we are back here at the Dakota Dome as we get ready for kickoff. Canton did win the coin toss and is elected to receive. The captains tonight for Vermillion were Roz Baylor, Jeremy Crow, and Wyatt Gestring. So as we get started to kick off here, as we mentioned earlier, kicking for Vermillion is Luke Knutson. And back deep for Canton are Matt Anderson and Kane Wallner. So Luke Knutson has teed it up at the Vermillion 40-yard line as he takes his paces back to about the 30. Moves to the left. Vermillion will be rolling left to right as I see them. Canton will obviously be moving right to left. Vermillion is in their red uniforms with white helmet. And Knutson addresses the ball. Here's the kick. Comes down at about the 6-yard line to Matt Anderson, who hands to Kane Walter, who has at the 10, 15, and grabbed at the 22-yard line. He was grabbed at the 22-yard line by Braden Bickett, who just held on for dear life as everyone else came to finally take him down. So Canton will come to the line for their first possession of the game, led by their quarterback, 2-year starter at quarterback Josh Merkel. So Josh lines up under center, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, passes out to number 36, Cale Ask, and he is out at the 37-yard line for a pass of 12. So the first pass play is a gain of actually 13 yards for Canton. Again, Merkel lines up under center. It's a tight package, one fullback in motion, and they got nowhere on that one. That was to Tayton Oshheim for a run for no gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. As the clock continues to run, we're early on in the first quarter here, 11:20 remaining. Tie game, obviously, 0-0. Merkel brings it to the line, this time in shotgun formation. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver left. And a quick hitch out to the right to Braxton Mulder. Nope. To Derek Teason for a gain of 4. So that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Seahawks. Boy, Vermillion defense would love to get a quick stop here in the first quarter on that first drive. So this time, almost kind of a wishbone formation. Merkel under center. 3 backs behind him. And he did draw Vermillion off, it does appear. So that is a 5-yard penalty. That will make it 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Oh, you hate to give away cheap yards like that. So we'll see what kind of formation Canton comes back in this time. So right now they are at the 47-yard line. Canton is at their own 47-yard line. Looking to drive, looking to get their second first down. Merkel is under center, kind of a jumbo formation here. Kale Ask in motion. Hands off straight ahead to number 7, Kanan McCracken. So that was a gain of 3 for McCracken, and that is a first down for Canton, their second first down of the game. In shotgun, here's the snap, looks to his right, it's a quick hitch to Matt Anderson, makes the first man miss. So after a 5-yard pass, he gained about 4 yards after the catch, just making that first defender miss. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. Tackled by Sorrell. So here they come to the line. Merkel under center, straight power I. Here's the snap and the handoff. Handoff to number 7 for 10. 15, down to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and that is a Canton touchdown. That is a Canton touchdown for number 7, Kanan McCracken. That is a 39-yard touchdown run for McCracken. That does make the score Canton 6, Vermillion nothing here with 8:49 remaining here in the first quarter. And I believe Canton pretty much always goes for 2. So Merkel brings them to the line. McCracken in the backfield. Nobody split out. In motion is Oshheim. Fake to Oshheim. Rolls to the right. And completed 2-point conversion into the end zone for Merkel. I didn't catch the number on that one. Looks like that was to Braden Oakland. So with 8:49 remaining, Canton takes an 8-0 lead over Vermillion. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 1015 AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on VermillionStreaming.com. And actually, we're just going to hold it here. Looks like they're about ready to kick off anyhow. So Canton just drove down with the aid of a 5-yard offsides penalty that gave them 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 6. They were able to just keep steadily driving the ball. And then just a long run by McCracken. So we'll see how Vermillion responds. So as we mentioned before, kicking off for Canton, the kicking duties is Dallas King, I believe. Said he hasn't kicked yet, but with all the touchdowns they've scored, I have to assume they've kicked off. So yes, Dallas King is lining up to kick off. Jeremy Crow, Zone Robinson, and Trillian Sorrell are back deep for Vermillion, back deep at about their 15-yard line. So again, quick 3-minute drive. Here's the kick. And it's a pooch kick to the 30. Kind of dies right there. Jeremy Crow jumps on it at the 28-yard line before Canton could. Otherwise, that was a live ball. So that's where Vermillion will take over. They take over at their own 28-yard line. Bringing them to the line will be Hayden Christofferson at quarterback. And pretty much always lined up in the backfield will be Jeremy Crow. Three receivers left. Sorrell isolated on the right. Claps his hands. Here's a quick screen pass to the right. And that to Crow. That ended up losing about 3 yards. That lost about 3 yards. So they are back to the 25-yard line. Actually, they marked it as a 2-yard loss. Oh, there was a flag on the play. Illegal shift that is declined by Canton. So 2nd and 12 with 8:41 remaining. Hayden Christofferson brings the Tanagers to the line. The umpire gets the clock started. Hands off straight ahead to Crow to the 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40. He's into Canton territory at the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown Tanagers! That is a 76-yard run for Jeremy Crow. And as we said, as Crow goes, so goes the Tanager offense. Oh, and there is a Canton player down, holding what looks like his left hamstring. We hope that's not serious. But on his first run of the game, second play from scrimmage for the Tanagers, Jeremy Crow breaks off a 76-yard touchdown run. And yeah, the injured player for Canton is Kane Wallner, who had such a great first drive for them. That's unfortunate. But in the attempt to stop Crow, Wallner looks like, I have to say, the way he was holding his hamstring. So they will line up to kick the extra point. Christofferson will be holding. Knutson will be kicking. So this would make it 8-7. Here's Knutson. He's lined up. Christofferson waits for the ball. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So that makes it 8-7 with 8:24 remaining. Quick 25-second drive for Vermillion. We will be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
The first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
We are back here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, as Vermillion has just responded with a 25-second drive, a 76-yard touchdown run for Jeremy Crow. So Luke Knutson will be kicking off from his 40. Back deep for Canton will be Matt Anderson and Tayton Oshheim. Here's the kick. Comes down at the 2-yard line. Fakes the reverse, and Anderson is at the 20, 25, 40, 50, 40, 30. He's going to make it all the way. That is a touchdown for the Canton C-Hawks, and they respond as quickly as Vermillion did. That is a 98-yard touchdown kickoff return for Matt Anderson. So that is a kickoff return. So that makes the score 14-7 with 8:09 remaining here in the first quarter. So this is a lot of offense for 4 minutes of football already. So again, Canton will bring them to the line with Merkel under center, McCracken in the backfield. In motion is Asheim, and that's the handoff, and he is in. 2-point conversion is successful for Canton. Well, that was Cale Ask, I apologize. Cale Ask with the 2-point conversion. So that makes it 16-7 Canton with 8:09 remaining. Again, we'll be back in 1 minute here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Traveling to Vermillion for Tanager football, basketball, or just traveling through? The Red Roof Inn in Vermillion is a place to stay, offering great rates, clean rooms with an awesome continental breakfast. Red Roof Inn does whatever it takes to make guests feel comfortable, making your trip the best possible. And furry friends stay for free. Located on Cherry Street in the heart of Vermillion. Call the Red Roof Inn in Vermillion to make your reservation.
And back at the Dakota Dome. Wow, that is a lot of action so far for 4 minutes of football. A drive by Canton, then a 2-play drive by Vermillion, then a kickoff return for a touchdown by Canton. So again, the Seahawks will be kicking off with Dallas King down to, well, it never makes it quite there. So this one made it to the 35. That was Connor Rohrig who picked that up, brought it back to the 42-yard line, so a 7-yard kickoff return. So Vermillion takes over at their own 42. Now, they had some momentum going. They want to make sure they don't lose it too much. So this is going to be an important drive. Again, Christofferson will bring them to the line. Jeremy Crow in the backfield. 3 receivers left with Trillian Sorrell lined up right. Christofferson claps his hands. Hands off to Crow, who was able to really get nothing going. That was no gain. No gain, so another carry. It's 2 carries for 76 yards for Crow. That cut his average in half right there. So with 7:40 remaining, Canton leads Vermillion 16-7. What's been a wild first quarter. Christofferson takes the snap, looks deep. Oh, and that was almost intercepted by McCracken. It was in his hands. But so that pass falls incomplete. Stops the clock with 7:29 remaining here in the first quarter. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Tanagers. Third and 10 for the Tanagers. So Christofferson brings them into the shotgun formation. 3 receivers left. Empty backfield. Crow and Sorrell lined up right. And here's the snap, looking deep, and that was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but almost caught. That was almost caught by Connor Larson. It would have been short of the first down, but it would have gotten him to the midfield. So a 3-and-out. Vermillion will be kicking. Knutson will be back to kick for the Tanagers, lined up at his 28-yard line. Back deep for the Seahawks is number 5, Matt Anderson. He's their main kick returner, main punt returner. He is lined up at his 15-yard line. Here's the kick. More of a line drive, not as high as Knutson usually gets. Falls at the 24, rolls a little bit to the 21-yard line, which is where the Seahawks will take over with 7:13 remaining in this first quarter. So the Vermillion defense really wants a stop here. Now, of the scoring, they were responsible for the first drive, but it was special teams on the second drive. And Vermillion had a few stops. It was just one big run that took care of them on that first drive where the Seahawks scored. So Merkel will bring them to the line. One back in the backfield. That is 3 receivers right. And Merkel is taken down with authority. That is a Jackson Heine specialty. That is a 10-yard loss. So that brings up 2nd and 20. That was a great defensive play for Vermillion. That's exactly what they needed. So with 6:48, Canton leads Vermillion 16-7, but they are deep in their own territory right now. So in the backfield is McCracken, Merkel under center, 2 receivers just off the line of scrimmage to the right. Cale Ask in motion, and they pitch to Ask, who moves ahead, gets about 7 yards. 7 yards will make it 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13 for Canton at their own 18-yard line. So Merkel this time is lined up in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Back in the backfield for protection is Ask. Looks to his left and is complete. Completes the pass to Derek Teason, but that is going to be short of the first down. He made it to the 26, needed to get to the 31. That'll make it 4th and 5. So with 5:42 and the clock running, Vermillion appears to have gotten a stop. So Canton comes to the line. It appears this will be a punting situation. I can't see risking not getting the first down and giving Vermillion this kind of field position. But you never say never. So Anderson is their punter. He is lined up deep, or he is lined up at his 11. Nobody deep for Vermillion. Oh, ho, ho, ho. But Canton moved. That's going to push him even further back. So that'll take him from the 27-yard line back to the 22-yard line. So that'll make it 4th and 9, which isn't that big of a difference. But I believe Vermillion will probably get somebody back this time to receive this punt, so it's not, or maybe not. Okay. They are lined up, looking to rush the passer, rush the kicker. Anderson's back at his 7-yard line. Here's the snap. And, oh, they almost got to it. They rushed him. He kicks it. It makes it to, it takes a good roll, but it's going to make it to the 49-yard line of Vermillion. Vermillion takes over at their own 49-yard line. Vermillion had a great rush, but he was able to avoid it and just get that kick off. So with 4:40 remaining, Canton leads Vermillion, in 4:40 remaining in the first quarter, Canton leads Vermillion 16-7 here on the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard. Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford is your complete car care center since 1956. Christofferson brings him to the shotgun. Crow in the backfield, 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Here's the snap, handoff to Crow, off the right-hand side. That's the second time they've been able to grab his jersey and just hold on for dear life. So stopped after a gain of 2 for Crow. Will bring up 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8, so Christofferson brings them to the line. They are now in the Canton side of the field at the 49-yard line. Christofferson in the shotgun with Crow lined up behind him. 3 receivers left. Sorrell isolated on the right. Here's the snap, the handoff to Crow, and that is sniffed out after a 1-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd and 7. So after that first run, Canton has really been able to stop Crow. He's run the ball 3 times for a total of 3 yards since that 76-yard touchdown run. So they really need steady production from Crow. So hopefully the line can start maybe creating some holes for him. So right now, 3 receivers, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Crow in motion to the left. Here's the snap. Christofferson looks right, looks left. He's in trouble, and he is sacked back at the original line of scrimmage at the 49-yard line of Vermillion. That will make it 4th and 10. Fourth and 10 with 3:06 remaining. So Knutson is back to kick. He is at his 37-yard line. Back deep for Canton is Anderson, number 5. He's lined up at his 10-yard line. Here's the snap and the kick. Now this one's more of a Knutson type of kick. That's to the 10. Oh, and it just rolls into the end zone for a touchback. So that'll give Canton the ball at the 20-yard line. So a 51-yard punt for Knutson, but 31 net with the touchback. So with 2:40 remaining in the first quarter, and what a first quarter we've had, Canton leads Vermillion 16-7. That's on a 98-yard touchdown run by kickoff return by Matt Anderson and a 39-yard touchdown run by sorry, I forgot his name there. By Kanan McCracken. So Merkel brings him to the line. McCracken in the backfield. Receivers tight to the left and to the right. Ask in motion. Pitch to Ask. Reverse to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. That was Avery Hertig on the reverse for an 80-yard touchdown run by Avery Hertig. Tonight is such a big play night already. And that makes the score Canton 22, Vermillion 7. And again, Canton will be going for 2, but that is the third big play for Canton. The 98-yard touchdown kickoff return, the 39-yard touchdown run by McCracken, and now an 80-yard touchdown on a reverse by Hertig. Merkel brings him under center to go for 2. McCracken lined up at fullback. And the fake. And here's the pass. And a successful 2-point conversion makes it 24-7. Canton over Vermillion. 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Nice. Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Okay, we are back at the Dakota Dome, where Canton has scored their third touchdown of the first quarter on an 80-yard reverse to Avery Hertig. That followed what was a 98-yard touchdown kickoff return by Matt Anderson, which had followed a 39-yard touchdown run by Kanan McCracken. In between there, Jeremy Crow had a 76-yard touchdown run for Vermillion. So, Dallas King kicking off from the 40 to Zone Robinson. It won't make it that deep, though. His kicks are always pooch kicks. And that was, oh no. That was mishandled by the up man. And Canton is positive they have it. And the refs are too. Canton takes over at Vermillion's 31-yard line on a mishandled kickoff. I think the next time we see Canton kick off, I really believe we'll see the hands team at the halfway mark, because that's all. I think that's all that King can kick. So we'll see if they make that adjustment. But with 2:21 remaining in the first quarter, Canton takes over at the 36-yard line of Vermillion, leading 24-7 on the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard. And Merkel brings them to the line with Avery Hertig and Kanan McCracken in the backfield. Merkel under center. 2 receivers split to the left. That's Matt Anderson. Handoff to McCracken right up the middle for a gain of 11 to McCracken. That is a first down for Canton. So 1st and 10 for Canton at the Vermillion 25-yard line as the clock runs. We're just about to 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Feels like it should be the second quarter with all the scoring. Merkel under center. The power I, 2 receivers to the right, and they fake the handoff. Pass out to Derek Teason for a gain of about 1. Gain of 1 to Derek Teason. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9 at the 24-yard line of Vermillion. As the clock continues to run, 1:30 left in the first quarter here. Canton is driving, leading 24-7. So Merkel again lines up under center. No receivers out wide. Cale Ask in motion, moves into the backfield. And here's the handoff to Ask off the right-hand side to the 20. Takes it down to the 17-yard line, which will leave 3rd and 2. Gain of 7. Gain of 7 for Ask on that one. So with 50 seconds remaining and the clock running, Canton pretty much always huddles up. They are at the 17-yard line of Vermillion. Merkel brings them under center. Wishbone formation to an extent. 3 backs in the backfield, no receivers. Here's Merkel. Hands off to Tate Noshheim, who takes it down to the 5-yard line. So that is a 12-yard gain for Oshheim. So 1st and goal as the clock runs. I don't know. Looks like they're going to try to get one more play off. They're at the Vermillion 5-yard line. Merkel under center. McCracken and Oshheim in the backfield. Oh, nope, Ask in the backfield. Hands off to Ask, who takes it down to the 1-yard line, which is where the quarter will end. After a 4-yard gain by Ask. So we'll be back as the first quarter ends with Canton leading Vermillion 24-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Did you know it's easier than ever to find the live stream for your team? Now at FullerDigital.net. No more searching. One place for all your live streams. FullerDigital.net. Home and away. If we're covering your team, the live stream videos are at FullerDigital.net. Just click on your school and you'll find the stream. Thank you for viewing the FDS live streams, and thank you for sharing it with your friends and family so they can find the games too. FullerDigital.net.
Back here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, the state champion boys golf team for Vermillion is being recognized. We will share a photo on the ESPN Radio Twitter page and Facebook page later as they were being honored at the 50-yard line. And now the teams move into position. Now in the second quarter, Canton will be moving from my left to right and Vermillion from my right to left. Didn't get to mention it before. Vermillion's in their red uniforms, red tops, red bottoms with white helmets. Canton is in their yellow road pants with white jersey with blue lettering and piping and their blue helmets. So here's the 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Merkel under center. McCracken in motion. There has to be a flag. There is a flag. He started pushing before the ball was snapped. That has to be a 5-yard penalty. Yep, false start on Canton. That'll push him back to the 6-yard line. That was pretty obvious. So 3 seconds into the second quarter, it's now 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line for Canton. I mean, I saw what they were trying to do there, but McCracken just got too early of a start on the push. Because remember, pushing is legal. It's pulling that you can't do as an offensive player to get your ball carrier forward. So McCracken brings him to the line, or Merkel brings him to the line with McCracken in the backfield. And Tate Noshheim kind of split off to the right. Cale Ask in motion, and he is tackled by Bickett at the 5 and brought down. They're giving him a forward progress to the 4. I'm not quite sure about that, but we'll let him have it. So that makes it 3rd and goal from the 4. You have to assume this is 2 down or 4 down territory so that they have 2 more bites at the apple here. So with 11:30 remaining, Canton leads 24-7 early in the second quarter. Vermillion really needs a stop here. I don't believe they kick field goals, so if a stop means no score for Canton. Merkel under center, McCracken in the backfield. Ask in motion. Here's the pitch to Ask around the corner into the end zone. That makes it 30-7 Canton with 11:09 remaining in the first quarter, or second quarter in the first half. And Canton, of course, will go for 2. So that was a 4-yard touchdown run on the pitch to Ask. So Merkel brings him under center, McCracken in the backfield. Ask is to the left, and to the pitch is to Ask. Same play, same result. 32-7. Canton leads Vermillion with 11:09 remaining in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds. That was the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Your crew is craving Pizza Ranch? It's easy to order online at pizzaranch.com. Online ordering makes it fast and easy to order craveable crispy ranch chicken or build your favorite pizza exactly how you like it. And now, for even more convenience, place your favorite order with just one tap. So when you're craving pizza or the country's best chicken, go to pizzaranch.com and start your order. For craveable food and convenient online ordering, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
Back at the Dakota Dome, where Canton, receiving votes, Canton leads Vermillion 32-7 with 11:09 remaining in the second quarter. Remember, every timeout and every water break is brought to you by Culligan Water of Yankton. To hydrate your family, your friends, and your enemies, call Culligan Water on 4th Street in Yankton. So Dallas King tees up the ball on the 40-yard line for Canton. Back deep, kind of deep, but up further, closer than normal. Crow, Robinson, and Sorrell. But this is going to be another pooch. That's what they do. Falls down to the 33, and that's to Connor Rohrig. Rohrig brings it up to the 44-yard line, which is where Vermillion will take over at their own 44-yard line, desperately needing a score to stop the bleeding. So again, that was Connor Rohrig with the 9-yard kickoff return. Christofferson brings them to the line with Crow in the backfield behind him. 3 receivers left. Sorrell isolated on the right. He scans the defense. Here's the snap. Handoff to Crow. Straight ahead for a gain of 2 yards. Straight ahead for a gain of 2 yards, so 2nd and 8. So far, Crow has run the ball 5 times for 81 yards, but 76 of that came on that one touchdown run, the second play from scrimmage for Vermillion. So with 10:42 remaining, Vermillion trails 32-7. Crow is in the backfield with Christofferson with 3 receivers left, 1 right. Christofferson claps his hands. Here's the snap. Looks to his left. Quick pass to Zone Robinson at the 49-yard line. So that was a gain of about 3. Gain of 3 for Robinson on that play. That will make it 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 as we've hit the 10-minute mark to go in the first half. Christopherson brings them to the line. They're at their 49-yard line. Crow lined up to his left. Robinson isolated to the left. 3 receivers right. Roll out to his left. And that is batted in the air, tipped by Canton. Oh, that fell incomplete. I thought that was going to be intercepted. So that will bring up 3rd and 5 for the Vermillion Tanagers at their own 49-yard line. And so for 4th and 5, it almost appears, nope, Knutson is coming out. I thought maybe they were going to try to go for it, but they are going to play the field position game. So Knutson's at his own 36-yard line. Matt Anderson back to his 10-yard line for Canton. Here's the snap and the kick. It's high, it's deep. Anderson's going to let it go, and that one doesn't go into the end zone. Down at the 1-yard line. That was a perfect kick for Knutson. It was a perfect kick for Knutson. 49-yard kick, no return. Canton takes over at their own 1-yard line. So this might be what Vermillion needs. Maybe they can penetrate that offensive line, get a sack or a tackle for a loss in the end zone, get a safety, get the ball back. Anything to get some momentum in this final 9.5 minutes of the second quarter. So a timeout is called by Vermillion. So we will be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube. This break brought to you by Culligan Water of Yankton. Back in 30 seconds.
Safe means you're sort of protecting yourself. My mom and dad told me how to be safe. It's like super duper important. Hold a grown-up's hands. Put a helmet on because you might hurt your head super duper bad.
Protect their future by protecting yours with your local State Farm agent, Dick Sunday.
Back at the Dakota Dome as Canton takes over at their own 1-yard line. Scoreboard update. Didn't mention it earlier, but some Friday night lights in Yankton as Mount Marty University plays a Friday night game at home against Dort. They are currently behind 14-9 with 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter. I appreciate Leela Schumacher texting me updates. So Merkel is under center, two backs in the backfield, one receiver kind of to the left. Handoff straight ahead. And he got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Makes it 2nd and 10. It looks like that was, yep, Tate Osheim for no gain. So as we approach the 9-minute mark of the second quarter, Vermillion's looking for a stop. Anything to just kind of stop the momentum for Canton. Merkel under center. 2 backs in the backfield. And that was handed off to Cale Ask. Gain of maybe a yard to the 2-yard line to make it 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. And the clock keeps running. 8:30 remaining in the second quarter. Merkel gets the play from the sideline. Brings it back to the huddle. Vermillion defense is lined up, ready to go. So Merkel brings him under center with Ask and McCracken and Osheim, I believe, in the backfield. In kind of the wishbone formation. Handoff to Ask over the right side. And he is tackled at the 10-yard line. He is a yard short of the first down. So that was a gain of 8. Tackle was by Braden Bickett on that play, and it does appear that Canton will again play the possession game. No sense in trying to give momentum to Vermillion by risking a 4th down and turning it over on downs. So that does mean Matt Anderson comes in to kick. And again, it looks like Vermillion's going to pressure the kick as opposed to setting up a return, hoping to get that quick strike, maybe get a safety, get a touchdown off a block. Zone Robinson on the right. They bull ahead. They don't reach him. That kick goes to the 45 of Canton, then the 47, rolls sideways, stays right there. So Vermillion takes over with 7:11 remaining in the second quarter. Vermillion takes over at the 47-yard line of Canton. And again, just like last time, Vermillion needs to score. You hate to say that they need to score quickly because there are 2.5 quarters left in this game. But they just need to score efficiently. They need to score with authority. They need a good drive that gives them some momentum and some confidence. So Christofferson in the shotgun with Crow lined up behind him. 3 receivers to the left, Sorrell to the right. Christofferson claps his hands, looks to his right, quick pass, and there was miscommunication. Sorrell hadn't even turned yet. So that ball falls incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10 for the Tanagers with 7:07 remaining here in the second quarter. And Christofferson brings them to the line. Crow in the backfield, 3 receivers left, Sorrell to the right. Claps his hands, here's the snap. Christofferson looks left, looks deep. Can't find anybody, is pressured, scrambles, and he is tackled for a 4-yard loss. That'll make it 3rd and 14. Makes it 3rd and 14 for Vermillion as the clock continues to run. Under 7 minutes remaining. So Vermillion is at their own 49-yard line now. Christofferson brings them to the line with Crow in the backfield. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Canton lined up in their 4-3 defense. Here's the snap, the handoff to Crow. And that was sniffed out in a hurry. Gain of 2 yards for Crow. Makes it 4th and 12. So as the clock runs, this ball will be kicked by Knutson with less than 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Knutson will line up at his 38-yard line. Back deep, back to his 10-yard line. Kind of his universal position is Matt Anderson. Knutson waits the snap. Here's the kick. It is up and comes down at the 15-yard line. Anderson to the 20. Reverses field to the 25, to the 30, and taken down at the 31-yard line by Raleigh French. So the Seahawks take over at their own 31-yard line with 5:38 remaining here in the second quarter, leading 32-7 over our Tanagers. The Vermillion their defense held on the last one. They need to hold on this one. And the offense just needs to get a score before halftime. Make it 32-14, 32-15. Just so you have some confidence going in because they will get the ball first coming out. So Merkel in the shotgun with Ask in the backfield. Looks to his left to pass. And that was incomplete to Dylan Teason. That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. Well defended. Merkel put it the only place he could where the defender couldn't reach it. Unfortunately, that was also out of the reach of Teason. So that stops the clock with 5:33 remaining. Canton still in their huddle, breaks their huddle. As the Vermillion defense is prepared, they're 3-4. Merkel in shotgun, looks to his left, looks to his right. There's the pass to Teason. Hit quickly by Zone Robinson after a gain of 5. It makes it 3rd and 5 from the 36-yard line. So gain of 5. Quick tackle by Zone Robinson. Makes it 3rd and 5 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. Canton comes to the line. Merkel in the backfield with Ask. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Merkel calls for the snap. Looks to his right. Quick pass. Intercepted by Sorrell at the 40. At the 30. He's to the 20. 15. 10. He's to the 5 and out of bounds at Canton's 4-yard line. That is exactly what Vermillion needed. Great play by Trillian Sorrell. Great interception. He read the quarterback's eyes perfectly, cut in front of the receiver, and made it down to looks like they're counting him out at the 5-yard line. So that is with 4:44 remaining here in the second quarter. Vermillion has it 1st and goal from the 5-yard line on that interception by Trillian Sorrell. So Christofferson brings him to the line. Crow in the backfield. Looks to pass. Intercepted in the end zone by Dylan Teason. By Derek Teason. There's a penalty flag on the field. We'll see what the penalty is. I think Vermillion's pretty sure it's against. Oh, no. Couldn't see what the penalty was, but illegal block in the back. So Canton does keep the ball. They have the ball at the 2-yard line with 4:35 remaining here in the second quarter. So had a little momentum going for Vermillion, had exactly the play they needed, and just the next play they turn it over. That's a killer. So Merkel under center, 3 backs in the backfield on the wishbone. Here's the handoff to Ask, who takes it ahead to the 7-yard line after a gain of 6. That'll make it, 7 yards is what they're giving him. That'll make it 2nd and 3. Raleigh French was in on the tackle for Vermillion. And we are approaching 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Merkel under center with Ask, McCracken, and Oshheim. Handoff to Ask. Straight ahead to the 14-yard line. That is a first down. So clock continues to run after the chains have moved. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line for Canton. 3:41 remaining. Canton leads 32-7. You know Canton really wants to get another score in before the quarter expire or the half expires. Merkel under center in the wishbone. Handoff to Ask over the right side. That one is sniffed out by Jeremy Crow. So a gain of 2 yards makes it 2nd and 8. Second and 8 for Canton from their own 16-yard line. And we have 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Vermillion desperately does not want to allow another score. And Canton brings them to the line. McCracken and Ask in the backfield. Handoff to Ask over the right side. Tackled by Sorrell at the 19-yard line. So another gain of 3 makes it 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 for Canton from their 19-yard line. As that clock continues to run, 2:20 remaining. Canton holds a 25-point lead over Vermillion. Merkel under center with McCracken and Oshheim in the backfield. Handoff to Oshheim over the left-hand side, and that's a gain of 8 for a first down. So that's a Canton first down at their own 28-yard line. Tackle made by Jackson Heine. So with 1:54 and counting, Canton leads 32-7. Looking to, they'll probably try to open it up a little bit right now, see if they can get some scores. They're outside the shadow of their end zone. Merkel in the I formation, Merkel under center. McCracken deep, handoff to McCracken straight up the middle. And he's to the 35, breaks another tackle. He is to the 39-yard line. Gain of 11 for McCracken. And they bring it to the line quickly. Merkel in the backfield, or lined up under center. Avery Hertig, the up back. McCracken deep, handoff to McCracken, straight up the middle. And that is another gain of 10 yards, 11 yards for McCracken. It's kind of the Noah Hutmacher effect. This is what we saw last week. He just a big back, and Vermillion could not stop him. So, the 1:02 remaining, under center. Here's Merkel. Hands off again to McCracken, straight up the middle for 10. He's to the 25 or 35 to the 33-yard line for a gain of 17 for McCracken. So the clock will start. McCracken comes out. He's got to be tired. He's a big guy. 46 seconds remaining. Canton comes to the line. They're at the Vermillion 33-yard line. 1st and 10. Merkel under center. Hertig at the up back. Handed off to Ask, straight ahead for a gain of about 3 yards. And timeout Canton with 29 seconds remaining. So timeout Canton. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Let's be real. You have a business to run, people to pay, money to make, and a life to balance. Good thing you also have First Bank and Trust. With our cash management solutions, you can issue payroll, accept payments, and manage cash flow, all while tapping into some of the best fraud prevention tools available. When managing a business is easier for you, so is managing a family. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Back at the Dakota Dome, 29 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Canton leads Vermillion on the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard, 32-7. We just came out of a Culligan water break. Culligan of Yankton, hydrate your family, friends, and your enemies. So Merkel is under center with Hertig and Ask in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right. Here's a fake. Looks to pass. Under pressure. And he is brought down by Braden Bickett. Bickett with the sack. And that is an 11-yard loss on that one. So Braden Bickett with the 11-yard sack. Timeout by Canton. We'll just keep it here. So 20 seconds remaining. Canton leads 32-7. Just need to write that down. Sack by Bickett. The second really big negative play that Vermillion's been able to cause for Canton. So we have 20 seconds remaining. Canton leads Vermillion 32-7. The story of the game is they are just unable to stop the running game of Canton as a whole, but ideally, McCracken has been the enemy. He has just been able to gash him. His first carry was for 3 yards, then it was 39, 11, 11, 11, and 17. So he's at 92 yards already for the game in the first half. So Canton brings him to the line at the 40-yard line of Vermillion. 20 seconds remaining. Merkel is under center with Herdig and Ask in the backfield. 2 receivers split out to the left. Here's the snap. Handoff to Ask straight ahead for a gain of 7. That's to the 33-yard line. And another timeout by Canton. It's 4th and 9 with 13 seconds remaining. And Canton will go for it. There's no sense not to. Not enough time for Vermillion to do much with it if they don't get it. Again, ball's at the 33-yard line of Vermillion. Just remember, at half, we'll be bringing you some scores from around the state. We'll be bringing you some upcoming events around the Vermillion School District. So a good halftime, a little halftime analysis. So again, we're proud to be bringing you Vermillion Tanager athletics. But 13 seconds here in the second quarter, 32 for Canton, 7 for Vermillion. Started off wild with a long drive for Canton, a 2-play drive for a touchdown for Vermillion, a kickoff return for a touchdown for Canton, and ever since then, it's been all Canton. It was 8-7, so they have scored 24 unanswered points. So Merkel brings them to the line at the 33-yard line. Nobody in the backfield. 4 receivers stacked to the left. 1 receiver, Anderson, to the right. And Jeremy Crow gets into the backfield. He's able to get it away, and it is incomplete. Falls incomplete with 5 seconds remaining. So Tanagers will take over on downs at their own 33-yard line. They'll probably try some sort of flea flicker, maybe a Hail Mary pass. Again, there's only 5 seconds left, so they have time for 1 play. So more than likely, we're going into half 32-7. Actually, they're going to go victory formation. Just kneel it, head into halftime. Here's the snap. Kneel the ball down, and that is the end of the first half. So in the first half, at the end of the first half, Canton leads 32-7. We'll be back in 3 minutes with our Carlson's Body Shop halftime report. Remember, Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford, your complete car care center since 1956. We'll be back in 3 minutes here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion, they strive to provide the highest quality patient-centered dental care in a friendly, relaxing atmosphere. Knutson Family Dentistry works hard to provide the best cosmetic, general, and emergency dental treatment in the area. With over 50 years of combined dental experience, the latest dental technology, and a professional and compassionate staff, they're your top choice for dental care. Call for an appointment at 605-857-8008. Knutson Family Dentistry of Vermillion.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Pump and Pack told me to keep this video simple, so I don't need to tell you about the great selections on drinks. You probably already know he has a South Dakota DMV, now kiosk, to renew your license plates. Snacks, too many of those to even mention. Oh, and when you fill up at Pump and Pack, Kevin gives a portion of the money back to a charity. I guess I really don't know what to talk about. Simple enough. Pump and Pack in Vermillion.
Need a new set of tires? Look to Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford. How about some accessories like WeatherTech floor mats, Access roll-up truck covers, bed liners, remote car starters, and thousands of other products. Hey, you can look at everything at your convenience online too at carlsonsbodyshop.com. No wonder the song says,
Bring it down to Carlson's Body Shop, your complete car care center.
Back here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, we are at halftime as the Canton C-Hawks lead the Vermillion Tanagers by a score of 32-7. As you can hear in the background, we do have the Pride of Vermillion Marching Band putting on their performance. I believe they are part of the March to the Meridian tomorrow over in Yankton. If you have a chance, there's a march through downtown, a parade through downtown Yankton, through the Meridian District. It's also, that'll take up, they come off the bridge, which is a beautiful sight. They come off the Meridian Bridge, come up that street and then turn, it's Walnut, then they turn onto 3rd Street and head down towards what might be like the Boathouse, South Dakota Magazine, that area. Then there's a field competition at Crane Youngworth. So if you have a chance to make it to Yankton tomorrow, March to the Meridian is going on. Vermillion's a part of that. Yankton's a part of that. A number of surrounding towns, and as far as way as Worthington, Minnesota, are a part of that. So if you're able to, come see the Pride of Vermillion Marching Band at the March to the Meridian. I did want to go over some scores in the area. Again, here from Vermillion, Canton leads Vermillion 32-7. We'll start with 11A. Winner is currently leading West Central by a score of 16-6 at half. Hill City leads Custer at half, 6-0. Madison leading Lennox, 27-7 at the half. Beersford leading Sioux Falls Christian. That game is on our sister station, 106.3 KVHT, brought to you by Joe Van Gore and Vicky Geyser on the call there. That is at half. Del Rapids leads Chamberlain 35-0 at half. 8 minutes left in the second. Dakota Valley leads Dakota Tech. Dakota Valley leads Lakota Tech 27-0. 9 minutes left in the first. Belle Fourche leads Sturgis 7-0. And no score update in the Sisseton-Millbank game. In AAA, Sioux Falls Lincoln came back to beat Brandon Valley 34-30. Harrisburg beat Rapid City Central 59-0. O'Gorman took Sioux Falls Washington to the woodshed 31-7. 10 minutes left in the fourth. And with 10 minutes left in the second, Sioux Falls Jefferson only leads Rapid City Stevens 10-0. Thought that might be higher. And again, tomorrow, Sioux Falls Roosevelt will be hosting the Yankton Bucks. That'll also be on our sister station, Classic Hits 106.3 KVHT, brought to you by on the call will be Joe Van Gore and yours truly. In 11AA, Pierre Riggs leads Huron 28-7 at half. T leads Spearfish 42-0 at half. Aberdeen Central leads Brookings at the end of the first quarter, 6-3. Watertown leads Mitchell 10-6 at the end of the first half. St. Thomas More leads Douglas after the halftime, 14-0. In 11B, Redfield beat Dakota Hills 52-13. Roncalli over Webster area, 27-0. Jim River leads Trip Delmont Armor, Andes Central Dakota Christian. Again, Andes Central, home of all former Pickstown engineers. That is where the Central came from. Hickstown, home of Linda Harvey, Judy Harvey, the late Richard Harvey, Albert and Leela Harvey, all my family, and I will mention them every time. Hill City over Custer, 6-0. McCook Central Montrose, whoa. I'll be honest, I think this has to be a typo. They have McCook Central Montrose leading Bridgewater Emory Ethan. Third-ranked Bridgewater Emory Ethan, 36-0. I'd be shocked if that's correct, but who knows? Hot Springs leads Rapid City Christian 28-0. St. Thomas More over Douglas 14-0. Elk Point Jefferson over Tri-Valley 27-0. Elk Point Jefferson has given up 1 touchdown all season, and they're keeping up with that today. And in 9-man, a few scores. Hanson over Viborg Hurley 34-6 at half. Wall over Kimball White Lake 48-0 at half. Hamlin beat Great Plains Lutheran 51-0. Platte Geddes over Coleman Egan 40-0. Corsica Stickney over Marion Freeman Academy 20-6 at half. Irene Wakanda over Garrettson at the half 50-6. Parkston leads Bonhomme at the half 16-9. And then Centerville over Cologne 24-22 at the end of the first half. Hitchcock-Tulare over DeSmet 12-6. And Gayville-Vollen over Arlington 33-0 at half. So we'll be back after this. We'll be back after this break. And the bloom is off the rose. Just starting the third quarter, Rutgers leads Nebraska 13-0. So we'll be back after this 2-minute break here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570 KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on Vermillion streaming from YouTube. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
We're a little bit different here at Vermillion Federal Credit Union. See, unlike banks, we're a member-owned not-for-profit institution, meaning members like you are the owners, and the profits are returned through better fees and lower rates.
Hey, you, down in front!
And since our members are our owners, we exist to serve you and make sure that you're as comfortable as possible here. So come on in and act like you own the place, because you do.
Open your free checking account today. Vermillion Federal Credit Union.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregates, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASB track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality healthcare, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Perfect night of sleep can be found with Slumberland Sleep Solutions Center. Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy all feature. Don't lose another night of sleep. Stop by Slumberland of Yankton. Looking to update the family room? Look no further than Yankton Slumberland. Lazy Boy, Flex Steel Furniture, and more. All at your hometown furniture store. That's Slumberland of Yankton.
And we are back at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota. Here at the half, Canton leads Vermillion by a score of 32-7. Well, as usual, we will go over to Jen Ashley, who has what's on tap for the coming week in Vermillion athletics, academics, in the Vermillion School District. What do we have, Jen?
Lots of events happening tomorrow. We'll start off with something that was already mentioned. The Pride of Vermillion Marching Band will participate in the March to the Meridian in Yankton, so good luck to the marching band on their performance. Oral and Terp will be competing in Harrisburg. And the 7th and 8th grade volleyball team have a conference tournament at Elk Point Jefferson starting at 9 a.m. Also tomorrow, At 1 p.m., the boys soccer team plays St. Thomas More at the Vermillion High School, so get out and cheer on the Tanagers as they play for a chance to go to the state championship game. Also, tomorrow at 11, the girls soccer team plays West Central at West Central. They are also playing for a chance to go to the state championship game, so we want to wish both girls and boys soccer teams good luck. On Monday, October 10th, there is no school in Vermillion due to Native American Day. Tuesday, October 11th, the 7th and 8th grade football team has their last game of the season against Canton at the Vermillion High School at 4 p.m. Tuesday, October 11th, the 7th and 8th grade girls play volleyball against Canton, with 7th grade girls playing at the middle school and the 8th grade girls playing at the high school at 4:30 p.m. Good luck to both the middle school volleyball and football teams. Tuesday, the high school volleyball team travels to Ponca, Nebraska, where the C game starts at 5 p.m., JV starts at 6, and the varsity game will tip off at 7:15. Thursday, October 13th, is all-state orchestra auditions in T. Thursday at 1 p.m., the cross-country team will be hosting the region cross-country meet at the Bluffs Golf Course in Vermillion. So get out and support the cross-country runners as they compete for a chance to run at state. Also on Thursday, October 13th, the 7th and 8th grade girls play volleyball against DV, with 7th grade girls once again playing at the middle school, and the 8th grade girls will play at the high school. Both games start at 4:30 p.m. The high school volleyball team once again is on the road, this time to Canton, where C-match starts at 5, JV starts at 6, and varsity starts at 7. The next Friday night at 7 p.m., the high school football team will be back in the Dome for their last home game of the season against the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. I did want to mention, you mentioned Native American Day on Monday. A lot of people were saddened to hear the passing of Kevin Locke. If you never had the opportunity to see Kevin Locke, he was a hoop dancer, a flautist with the pan flute, Native American flute, singer, dancer, and just an activist. A tremendous loss. He was just in Yankton at Mount Marty a few weeks ago. Passed away from an asthma attack, a severe asthma attack. So our thoughts and prayers are with Kevin Locke, his family, and his friends around the area, around the state, and around the world. He was internationally known. So this Native American Day, maybe if you're able to play some Kevin Locke music, that'd be great. You know, remember him well. So we will be back here in let's take a 2-minute. Let's not take a 2-minute timeout. I don't know how much time they're going to put on there. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back here on ESPN Radio, 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
You can feel beautiful in your own skin. Candice Couture offers intimates to make you feel your best. Whether you want to feel beautiful for a night or you just want to feel frisky. Candice Couture also offers mastectomy bras, prosthetics, and nursing bras. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street, Vermillion. We are beautiful in every aspect life throws at us.
Last week, a guy walked into the UPS store in Vermillion. He did not notice the copiers, the printers, the mailboxes, the banners, the posters, not even the business and shipping supplies. It was like he had blinders on. Hi, this is Jay with the UPS store in Vermillion. Many people don't see everything we have to offer when they stop by the UPS store to ship their packages. They miss all the things we have, like printing, designing. We even offer notary services here at the UPS store, located on Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Back here at the Dakota Dome as we're just about ready to kick off in about 2 minutes. Here as the Canton C-Hawks lead the Vermillion Tanagers by a score of 32-7. The name of the game in the first half was running the ball for Canton. Your biggest runner was Kanan McCracken, who had 5 carries for 92 yards. Oshheim had 4 carries for 20 yards. Ask, while he didn't have any huge runs, he had, 11 rushes for 51 yards. And then Herdig had 2 runs for 84 yards, obviously. So, and in the first half, Herdig had a touchdown, Ask had a touchdown, and McCracken had a touchdown. So that was the name of that game. also, in addition to that, in addition to those 3 running touchdowns, Matt Anderson had a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And that totaled up to the 32 points for Canton. Meanwhile, Vermillion, they responded to that first touchdown drive very quickly. The second play from scrimmage, Jeremy Crow took the ball off the right side for 76 yards for a touchdown. And he was held in check completely after that. After that first carry for 76 yards, he had 5 carries for 7 yards. So 83 yards for Jeremy on 6 carries. Unfortunately, 76 of them came on 1 carry. Trillian Sorrell did have an interception that was returned to the 5. Unfortunately, that was turned right around and intercepted by Canton in the end zone. They did attempt to bring it out. That was Oshheim, and he was tackled at the 4-yard line. There was an illegal block in the back that ended up bringing it back to the 2. So that is the story of the game. In addition, on a Canton kickoff, the up man for Vermillion, it was a short pooch kick, was unable to corral the ball, fumbled it, and Canton took over there at the 36-yard line. So that is the story that brings us here as we enter the third quarter. Now remember, not that we want to think about this, but there is a mercy rule in 11-man football in South Dakota. And in all classes, when a team secures a 35-point lead during the third or fourth quarter, so that means if Canton can score 10 points and Vermillion doesn't score, the clock will continue to run except for timeouts, whether it's team or official, or after a score. The clock does continue to run even if the other team would get it under. So that is something we will need to keep an eye on. So Canton will be kicking off. Vermillion will be receiving. They're 3 deep men, and I just did air quotes over the radio, so nobody saw that. But they are at the 25-yard line. His kicks have been mainly getting to about the 35, so we'll see if they even come up for that. Dallas King at the 40 approaches the ball. Here's the kick, and it did make it to Zone Robinson at the 20. Nope, Trillian Sorrell to the 30. 32-yard line. A 12-yard return for Trillian Sorrell. That's where Vermillion will take over. And pretty much every possession for Vermillion is going to need a score. They are down 25 points. So that's a minimum of 3 possessions. You hate to say you have to score every time, but it's getting darn close, especially the way Canton's been moving the ball. So Christofferson in the shotgun with Crow in the backfield. 3 receivers right. Zone Robinson out to the left. Quick pass to Robinson, in and out of his hands. Zone is normally so sure-handed. I think he thought he got to thinking about the pivot move he needed to make, and he thought he could go down the sideline for a large gain. Unfortunately, falls incomplete. That makes it 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line of Vermillion. With 11:49 remaining here in the third quarter, we're 11 seconds in. Christofferson in shotgun. Crow to his left. 3 receivers right. Zone Robinson to the left. Handoff to Crow, who brings it out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 for Crow. That makes it 3rd and 5. 3rd and manageable at the 38-yard line. As the clock does run, Christofferson looks to the sideline for the play, as does the rest of the team. So again, 3 receivers right, Robinson to the left. It's Sorrell, Rohrig, and Larson. Christofferson looks to the right. Pass is complete. Complete to Sorrell for a gain of 9 yards. That takes it to the 47-yard line. And a Tanager first down. I have that as Sorrell's first catch of the game. Only the 3rd pass completion for Vermillion. So with under 11 minutes remaining in the third quarter, Christofferson in the shotgun with Crow. 3 receivers left. Sorrell isolated right. Quick pass to Sorrell. And he's to the 45 of Canton, which is where he is wrapped up after a gain of 8. So clock is running, but Vermillion is moving the ball consistently. getting the chunk plays that they need. Actually made it to the 44-yard line. That is 2nd and 9. Or 2nd and 1, sorry. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Crow in the backfield. Christofferson looks to pass, looks to run, and he has nowhere to go. Christofferson lost a yard on that one. So Christofferson has run the ball 3 times for -8 yards so far today. With 10 minutes remaining and the clock still running, Crow is in the backfield with Christofferson. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. That is Sorrell, isolated right. Handoff to Crow, straight up the middle, off the right-hand side. Boy, he needed 2, and he got 2. He didn't get much, but he got enough. That is a first down for Vermillion. So with 9:44 remaining, Vermillion is 1st and 10 from the Canton 42-yard line. Clock starts back up. Christofferson in the shotgun. Crow to his left. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Christofferson looks deep to Sorrell at the 20, 15, 10, and he is down at the 7-yard line. Nope, 6-yard line. So that is a 40-yard pass play to Zone Robinson. First down, 1st and goal from the 6-yard line of Canton. So with 9:19 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Vermillion is knocking on the door. Christofferson in the shotgun with Crow in the backfield. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Handoff to Crow. He's hitting the backfield. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. So that'll make it 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. And we are now under 9 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. But Vermillion is moving the ball, moving it well. And you have 2 receivers left, and Sorrell and Robinson right with Crow lined up in the backfield with Christofferson. Christofferson looks to pass, can't find anybody, and he is tackled for a loss down at the 8-yard line. So that is a loss of 2. A loss of 2 for Vermillion, bringing it back to the 8-yard line. So that makes it 3rd and goal from the 8. And Vermillion has their play from the sideline. 1 receiver left, 3 receivers right. Here's the snap. Christofferson looked to do a screen pass to Crow and is sacked back at the 18-yard line. So that is a loss of 9. So 4th and goal from the 18. Timeout called by Vermillion. So we'll be back in 1 minute here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming from YouTube with this Culligan water break.
Feed has served the area for nearly 100 years with the goal to continue this local family-owned business for the long haul. Johnson Feed is proud to be a part of the Vermillion community with a facility ready to repair, wash, and sell tires for all trucks and vehicles. Johnson Feed has room for drivers too. If interested, talk to the friendly folks at Johnson Feed. They have over 200 company trucks to deliver products throughout the country and over 375 company employees. Johnson Feed wish the best to the Vermillion Tanagers this season.
Vermillion Medical Clinic has an ongoing mission to provide areas with quality health care and convenient access to medical professionals. Our patients at Vermillion Medical Clinic value our dedicated primary care physicians, compassionate PAs, and consistently scheduled outreach specialty care. If you have health questions, need a screening, or have medical concerns for yourself or family members, call us for an appointment or visit VermillionMedicalClinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
Here's the snap to Christofferson, looking over the middle. 4th and goal from the 18. He is running. He is at the 10. Oh! And he is pulled down at the 10-yard line by Canton, which is where the Canton C-Hawks will take over on downs. Oh, so with 7:25 remaining and the clock running, Vermillion is unable to capitalize on the 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. So Canton retains their lead 32-7 with 7:10 remaining in the third quarter. And Canton is huddling up. You know they're just going to take their time. They're going to run the ball. They're going to just try to run time off the clock. So Merkel's in the back, lined up under center. Wishbone in the backfield. There's the handoff to Ask. And he fumbles! And Vermillion has it! Vermillion has it at the 16-yard line on a fumble by Ask. Cale Ask is hit. I think it was Raleigh French might have been in there. So Vermillion Tanagers, another swing of momentum, take over at the 16-yard line of Canton. So with 6:43 remaining, Vermillion has the ball back at the 16-yard line, looking to capitalize on a turnover. Christofferson in shotgun, Crow to his right, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Snap, asked for the pass. And Christofferson keeps it on the run-pass option, gains maybe a yard. PA guy said no gain, but I'm giving Christofferson 1. That's his first gain of the day. So, 6:24 remaining. Christofferson looks to the sidelines for the play. You have Sorrell isolated left, 3 receivers to the right in Rohrig, Larson, and Robinson. Crow in the backfield, Christofferson in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Looks to pass. He is under pressure. Passes it out of bounds. He was outside the tackle box. So that's an incomplete pass. That makes it 3rd and 9. Stops the clock with 6 minutes remaining. Halfway through the third quarter. Vermillion would love to get a score here. They probably need to get a score here. So Zone Robinson is isolated to the right. Rohrig, Larson, and Sorrell are split out to the left. Christofferson right now is under center. And I don't think they were in the right formation. So Vermillion calls timeout. So we'll take a Culligan water break. Remember, Culligan, hydrate your family, friends, and teammates with Culligan Water of Yankton at 4th Street in Yankton. That's Culligan Water. We'll be back after 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Sometimes trapped at work, surrounded by 4 walls, working the same task daily? Well, here's an opportunity. Larry's is hiring for installers and service technicians. These positions mean that you are out and about at a job site with a different situation every day. No experience needed, we will train you. Larry's offers great pay and benefits. Apply for our installer or service technician position by stopping by our Yankton location at 2401 Broadway Avenue or online at larrysheatingandcooling.com.
Oh, here she comes. It is 3rd and 10 from the 16-yard line for Vermillion. Here's Christofferson in the shotgun. Crow to his left. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Here's the snap. Looks to pass. Looks for Sorrell over the middle. Oh, and it is deflected away. So that brings up 4th down. And when you're down by 25, field goals don't cut it. So you have to go for it. So it is 4th and 10 for the Tanagers from the 16-yard line. And they will go for it with 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. They look to the sideline to get the play. Robinson, Rohrig, and Sorrell isolated or split left. Crow to the right, and Larson. Here's the snap. Looks to pass. Deep to the end zone. And that is well defended by number 14, Braxton Mulder for Canton. So again, in the red zone, and Vermillion is unable to capitalize. Score remains Canton 32, Vermillion 7 with 5:48 remaining here in the third quarter. That was the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard. Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford is your complete car care center since 1956. So Canton comes to the line here at the 16-yard line. Merkel is under center. McCracken and Ask in the backfield. Misdirection. This is to Oshheim. Oshheim is down to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 18 for Tayton Oshheim. And that's a Canton first down. And just Vermillion has not been able to come up with an answer for those misdirection plays out of the wishbone and out of the motion for Canton. Ask is out. A few players, including Avery Hertig, have come in. So Canton comes to the line. Merkel will be under center. It's Hertig is the up back. McCracken is the tailback. One receiver split left. Here's the snap. Handoff to McCracken over the left side. He has 5, 10. He has about 10, 11 yards to the 44-yard line. That is a gain of 10 for McCracken. That puts him over 100 yards for the game. They're saying a gain of 9, but they're going to give him a first down. Nope. Second and like 3 inches, I guess. Nope. It's a first down. I'm not the only one confused. They're all confused. Chain gang was moving left and right. And speaking of left to right, Canton is moving right to left. Vermillion's moving left to right. Merkel under center. Hands off to McCracken over the left-hand side. Even when it's sniffed out, it's a gain of 4 for McCracken. So that makes it 2nd and 6 after being tackled by Raleigh French. So they are huddling up here. Canton is at their own 47.5-yard line. In the backfield, you have Tyler Rosaboom and McCracken. Handoff to McCracken straight up the middle. And that's a gain of the 2.5 yards, gets right to midfield. That'll make it 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 for Canton with 3:26 remaining here in the third quarter. You can almost expect Canton to just keep it on the ground, keep that clock running, force Vermillion to take timeouts. I think Vermillion only has 1 timeout left anyhow. That's another thing to keep an eye on. Merkel under center. Power I, handoff to McCracken, straight up the middle. And he pushes ahead for a gain of 4. Needed 5. Gain of 4 leaves it 4th and 1. We'll see if Canton goes for it here. They've been able to get running yards at will. I expect him to go for it with McCracken in the backfield. So 2:37, 36, 35 remaining in the game, or in the third quarter. And Canton holds that 32-7 lead. Merkel brings him under center. 2 receivers right. Power I. Handoff to McCracken straight up the middle. Roz Baylor got a hold of him, and he just drug him for 2 more yards. That's a gain of 3 or 4 for McCracken, and that is another first down. So, with first down for Canton, they are at the Vermillion 43-yard line. And as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the third quarter, Canton leads Vermillion 32-7 on the Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard. Merkel brings him to the line with Rosaboom and Ask in the power I. Ask is the deep back. Here's the snap, the pitch to Ask. Off the left, and he is brought down for a gain of a yard. Gain of a yard for Ask. So a minute and a half left in the third quarter. Canton is at Vermillion's 42-yard line. It is 2nd and 9. Merkel hasn't been asked to do a ton today. He's mainly been handing off to McCracken, Ask, Herdig. Not many passing yards, but he's been directing this offense. Brings them up under center, wishbone formation. And the handoff, misdirection to McCracken, who fumbles the ball, and that is recovered. Recovered by Vermillion. Recovered by number 21, Landon Cerny. So the ball is recovered by Vermillion at the 37, at their own 37-yard line. That is the second turnover of this quarter that Vermillion has recovered for Canton. Let's see if they can capitalize on this turnover this time. So they're at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Christofferson in the shotgun. Crow behind him. Handoff to Crow, straight up the middle. That is a gain of 5 for Crow. And so 30 seconds remaining. Vermillion does come to the line. Sorrell isolated to the right, 3 receivers to the left. Crow lined up directly behind Christofferson. Here's the snap. Handoff to Crow, straight up the middle. And that gained nothing. No gain on that play. So that brings up 3rd and 4 from the 43-yard line. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. No score in the third quarter, so the score remains 32-7. Canton leads Vermillion. We'll be back in 1 minute here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming from YouTube.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Christofferson here at the start of the fourth quarter in shotgun, looks to pass to the left, and just out of the reach of Zone Robinson. So that brings up 4th and 4 from the 43-yard line. Again, you're in the fourth quarter, you're down 25 points. You need at least 4 possessions. So they're going to go for it. Connor Larson to the left, Robinson, Sorrell to the right, Crow in the backfield with Christofferson. And here's the pass to Zone Robinson. That is complete to the 38-yard line for a first down. 38-yard line of Canton for a first down for Vermillion. That was a gain of 20. So with 11:52 remaining, Vermillion is to the 37-yard line of Canton. Christofferson in the backfield with Crow. 3 receivers left, Sorrell right. Christofferson looks to pass, goes deep to Sorrell. That is caught, and that is a touchdown for the Vermillion Tanagers. That is a 37-yard touchdown pass. There is a flag on the field, but I fully expect that to be defensive pass interference. We will await the call. But if it stands, that makes it 32-13 Vermillion. And it is defensive pass interference. That penalty is declined. And that 37-yard pass for a touchdown was from Hayden Christofferson to Trillian Sorrell. Luke Knutson is in for the extra point. Hayden Christofferson is the holder. Here's the snap. Oh, no. Through the hands of Christofferson. Knutson tries to pick it up. Is unable to, and that is recovered. It is covered by Canton. So the score remains 32-13. That is an unfortunate error. That makes the score still a 19-point lead, meaning at least 3 possessions. And so Vermillion will kick off when we return. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570 KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming from YouTube.
You want a lumber yard that delivers more. The Lumberyard Vermillion has been going strong in the same spot now for 53 years, helping you find the building solutions you need, offering new technology with old-fashioned friendly small-town service, making the Lumberyard in Vermillion your building supply solution from start to finish.
Back here at the Dakota Dome, as the Tanagers have just scored, they're down 32-13. Knutson will be kicking off to Canton. Back deep is Matt Anderson. And Luke Knutson has set it on the right hash. So Cale Ask and Matt Anderson back deep. Here's the kick. Line drive into the end zone. That'll be a touchback for Canton. So that'll bring it back out to the 20-yard line for Canton. So with 11:36 remaining here in the fourth quarter, Vermillion was finally able to take advantage of a turnover by Canton. They had 2 missed opportunities in the red zone in the third quarter. So depending on how this game turns out, those might be 2 possessions that Vermillion would like back. But Merkel will be bringing Canton to the line. Lined up in the wishbone with Ask, Oshheim, and McCracken. Here's the snap. Handoff to Oshheim over the left side. Tackled for a 1-yard loss. Braden Bickett in on the tackle for a loss of 1. So as the clock runs, that makes it 2nd and 11 for Canton. And as I said before, Vermillion has 1 timeout left. So Canton is going to take their sweet time, knock as much clock off every possession they can, even if they don't score, realizing that Vermillion needs the ball 3 times. So here's Merkel under center. 3 backs in the backfield. Oshheim, Ask, and McCracken. Handoff to Ask or Oshheim over the left-hand side. Gain of about 3 yards, 4 yards to the 24. That'll make it 3rd and 6. That'll make it 3rd and 6 from the 24-yard line of Canton. With 10:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Vermillion would love to get a stop here and get the ball back. With the kicker for Canton, they should get good field position if they can get a stop here. Merkel brings them to the line. There's only 2 backs in the backfield, McCracken and Oshheim. Ask is a little split offset left. Here's the snap. Handoff to Oshheim. Off the right-hand side, and he is short. He brings it out to the 28-yard line. That'll be 4th and 2. They gave him a little further than I saw, so yard and a half. It does appear, though, that Canton will kick. No sense in giving Vermillion the ball this close, risking giving the Vermillion the ball this close to their own goal line. So Anderson is back to kick. Again, Vermillion will pressure, and they've gotten to Anderson, gotten close a couple of times. So they're going to rush the kicker, see if they can get a block, get a pressure. Straight up the middle, and they do not get to him. That kick goes to the Vermillion 30, bounces down, rolls to the Vermillion 22-yard line. So 49-yard kick by Anderson. So Vermillion take it over at their own 1-yard line with 8:59 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Vermillion takes over, trailing Canton by a score of 32-13. That score courtesy of the scoreboard sponsor, Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford, your complete car care center since 1956. All right, Christofferson is in the shotgun, Crow to his left. Zone Robinson isolated left, 3 receivers right. Here's the snap, handoff to Crow. Straight up the middle for a gain of 4 to the 25-yard line. That does make it 2nd and 6 as the clock continues to run. So 8:40 remaining with Christofferson in the shotgun, Crow to his left. Zone Robinson split out left, 3 receivers right. Christofferson claps his hands, asks for the snap. Handoff to Crow, straight up the middle for another 5-yard gain. So that'll make it 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 for Vermillion from their own 30-yard line with 8:15 remaining. Again, remember, Vermillion only has 1 timeout as they trail Canton 32-13. Christofferson brings them to the line. In the shotgun, Crow lined up directly behind him. 3 receivers left. Sorrell out to the right. Here's the snap. Handoff to Crow straight ahead. And he did not make it. He did not make it. It's always a tough call when you only have 1 yard to go and you start your running back that deep in the backfield. So as the clock runs, 7:37, 36, 35, Vermillion has 4th and 1. They have 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Christofferson lined up under center, Crow in the backfield. Here's the sneak by Christofferson, and he got it. He definitely got it. He needed a yard, got a yard and a half. So that is a 1st down for Christofferson and the Tanagers. So clock will continue to run, 7:15 remaining. Christofferson in the shotgun, Crow behind him. Again, trips left, single receiver right. Here's the snap. Quick pass off to the right to Sorrell. He's unable to slip a tackle, but he does gain 7 yards on the play. Or 8. Gains 8 yards on the play to make it 2nd and 2. So Sorrell has 53 yards receiving on the game. Robinson has 63. Christofferson in shotgun, Crow offset left, 1 receiver left, 3 receivers right. Here's the snap. Christofferson looks to pass. Can't find anybody open. Off to the left. And was really just throwing that away in the direction of Zone Robinson. So that'll stop the clock with 6:24 remaining. That makes it 3rd and 2. Again, 6:24 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Canton leads Vermillion 32-13. After a wild first half, we've only seen 1 touchdown scored here in the second half, but it has been no less wild. We've had 2, 3 turnovers. Here's Christofferson back to pass. Deep to Zone Robinson, and he was held. There are flags on the field. And number 21, Tate Nashheim, was holding Zone Robinson. Now, I don't know if Robinson would have been able to catch up to that, but that definitely was not hidden well enough to not call it. So the ball was at the 40-yard line. That pass interference will bring it down to the 40, They're going to bring it to the 45-yard line of Canton. So, and another thing that stops the clock. So 6:18 remaining. Vermillion's now at the Canton 45-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Crow in the backfield with Christofferson. Back to pass. Looks under pressure. Takes off. He gets a yard. Christofferson got a yard. So after being tackled for a loss his first 5 rushing attempts, Christofferson now has 4 yards on his last 3 attempts. So 3 positive rushing plays for Christofferson. And what you're going to find is he's a freshman. His decision-making is not as quick as probably Ty Hertz's would be. He probably should have taken off maybe a split second sooner, and he probably could have had 5-6 yards. So 3 receivers right, back to passes, Christofferson, 2 receivers left. And that's Jeremy Crow at the 40. At the 36, gets down to the 36-yard line. So that is a gain. Oh, no, 31-yard line. Sorry, I had my line markers mixed up. That is a 14-yard gain for Crow, and that is a first down for Vermillion. Empty backfield with Christofferson, 3 receivers right, 2 left. Quick pass to Zone Robinson at the 25. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So that is an 8-yard play for Zone Robinson. And he got out of bounds to stop the clock with 5:18 remaining. Now, if you're Vermillion, you're thinking, okay, we need 3 scores, but you just focus on getting this first one. And after that, you can onside kick, you can try to recover, you can do whatever, but you need to get this score. So 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Christofferson offset left in shotgun. Hands off to Crow, who is tripped in the backfield. After a gain of 1 yard, that leaves 3rd and 1. And that continues the running clock. 5:03, 5:02, 5 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Christofferson brings them to the line. He's in shotgun formation. Crow just to his right. Robinson and Larson to the left. Sorrell and Rohrig to the right. And the handoff is straight ahead to Crow. Crow with a gain of 3 yards. That's enough for a first down. Temporarily stops the clock at 4:43 remaining. And that does, Christofferson brings him to the line. 2 left, 2 right. Crow in the backfield. Looks to pass. Nothing there. Runs. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He is in for a touchdown. Oh, there is a flag on the field. And there is a defensive player for Canton that really believes it's on Vermillion. And Vermillion kind of believes it's on Vermillion. Holding on the Tanagers. So instead of a touchdown, that'll back them up. With 4:25 remaining. So that is a huge play. Christofferson thought he had a touchdown. That was that quick decision on the run that I mentioned earlier. But instead, that'll back him up. It's from the point of the penalty. So it's now 1st down and 9 from the 18-yard line. Christofferson in shotgun with Crow. 2 left, 2 right. Looks to pass. And is that incomplete to Sorrell? Did appear to have bounced. So that stops the clock with 4:08 remaining in the game. So Christofferson does bring him to the line. 3 receivers right. Zone Robinson isolated to the left. Jeremy Crow just to the right of Christofferson. Here's the snap. Rolls out to the right. Looks to pass. Sees nothing. He makes a decision to run. And he gets to the 11-yard line. He will be, I believe, 2 yards short. But that was a nice run by Christofferson. So He is 1 yard short. That makes it 3rd and 1 at the 10-ish yard line. So here's Christofferson lined up in the shotgun. Crow off to his right, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Hand off to Crow straight ahead. That is a 3-yard run for Crow for another first down. But we are now under 4 minutes remaining in the game. And the clock will start with the move of the chains. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line, 6-yard line. Christofferson in shotgun. Looks to pass. Doesn't see anything open. Scrambling like Fran Tarkenton. And there's a penalty flag. I think they're going to get him for hitting the quarterback late. Maybe not. That was... Oh, they're getting him for intentional grounding. That was a really late flag for intentional grounding. So intentional grounding. Moves it back to the 25-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 25-yard line. Here's the snap, looking to pass. Christofferson over the middle to Sorrell, and that is broken up. So with 3:29 remaining, it is 3rd and goal. So Christofferson in the backfield, looks to pass, just out of the reach of Jeremy Crow. So that intentional grounding really took a lot of wind out of the sails for Vermillion. So it is 4th and goal from the 25 with 3:25 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And it's kind of been the story of the second half of Vermillion. They're able to get it into the red zone. This will be their 3rd time in the red zone. And we'll see if this time they can try to capitalize. But it's 3rd and goal from the 25. Christofferson in the backfield. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Back to pass, and Christofferson tucks it and runs and loses 5. So on downs, Canton takes over with 3:18 remaining. And with 1 timeout remaining, Vermillion can do very little to stop the clock. So that pretty much spells the end of the Tanager chances, unfortunately. But they had chances. 3 different times they were in the red zone. And 3 different times they came away empty. And if you're able to come up with a touchdown in each of those games, each of those times in the end zone, or the red zone, and you're looking at 34-32. Vermillion's going to watch this game film and understand that they had opportunities. So Merkel under center. Ask and McCracken in the back. Ask runs it ahead for 3 yards, and the clock will continue to run. Under 3 minutes remaining right now. So as the clock continues to run, Vermillion, like I said, they're going to be able to watch the game film, and they're going to see they had opportunities. Just sometimes the ball didn't bounce the right way. Some of it might be, he's still a freshman. We need to remember that with Hayden Christofferson. And Canton is good. So Merkel under center, McCracken in the backfield, kind of in a power set. Handoff to Ask, who is in motion. Ask moves ahead for 2 yards. That'll make it 3rd and 5. Third and 5. Canton will huddle up. It'll be under 2 minutes remaining when they snap the ball. It does appear that Canton is getting in some reserves. Understanding that they pretty much have the game in hand, get some players some playing time. Maybe they get a quarter or two, get them to a letter. Timeout, Canton. They'd realized they'd taken so much time they didn't want to get a penalty. So with 1:46 remaining in the fourth quarter, let's take a 30-second timeout here on ESPN Radio 101.5 AM 1570. KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube.
Runnings in Vermillion is ready, hunters. Stop and take a look at their hunting stands. Runnings has an aisle full of decoys. There's firearms, ammo, waders, clothing, and much more. For the best shot at the animal you want to harvest this fall, leave it to Runnings for the help you need. Stop and see the friendly staff for all of your daily living needs at Runnings 2, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Runnings Vermillion.
Back at the Dakota Dome, with 1:46 remaining in the game, Canton leads Vermillion 32-13. It is 3rd and 5. So Josh Merkel is still at quarterback. They did bring in a few reserves, but McCracken is back there, as well as Avery Hertig at the back positions. Hand off to McCracken, straight ahead off the left-hand side, and he has 5. He has 10. He has 11 yards. And that will be a Canton first down. And that will pretty much seal it up. So with 1:39 remaining, injury on the field. A Vermillion player is down. Haven't seen a number yet, but I think it might be Jeremy Crow. Nope, I see Jeremy walking, so it's not him. So while they attend to that player, we will take a 30-second Culligan water break. To hydrate your family, friends, and teammates, call Culligan Water of Yankton on 4th Street. That's Culligan Water of Yankton. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on ESPN Radio, 101.5 AM 1570 KVTK, KVTK.com, and live on VermillionStreaming.com. And actually, the player is up, and so we will not go to a break. It is Braden Bickett that is down. He's walking off under his own power. He took the brunt of that hit from McCracken. And in a score update with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, winner is going to be a winner. What I thought would be the game of the night, winner took West Central to the woodshed, 46-12. And we saw West Central just a couple of weeks ago. West Central is good. I shudder to think what winner can do. I'd love to see winner maybe against an 11 AA team or 11 AAA. It's a scary thought. Millbank beat Sisseton 43-0. Beersford leads Sioux Falls Christian 20-18 with 1 minute left in the fourth. Here with 1:20 and the clock counting, Merkel is under center. Herding and McCracken in the backfield. No, Ask in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hand off to Ask over the right-hand side. He makes it to midfield for a gain of 3. And we are now under 1 minute remaining. And Canton will take every second off the clock that they can. So Canton will go away 3-4. Vermillion will walk out of the dome 2-5, needing to really close out with 2 victories to have a chance at the postseason. It's victory formation for Canton. Merkel takes the snap, kneels down, and that will be it for this game. That will be it as the Vermillion Tanagers and the Canton C-Hawks played a full 4 quarters. An explosive game, but Canton will walk away with a 32-13 victory. The teams are shaking hands. So let's take a 3-minute timeout. We'll wait for Coach O'Boyle. We'll be back to go over some scores. But let's take a 3-minute timeout, and then we'll come back with our First Dakota halftime show here on ESPN Radio 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK, kvtk.com, and live on Vermillion streaming on YouTube. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
You are self-motivated, accountable, and eager to learn new skills. We'd love to talk to you about a rock star career. Masaba in Vermillion is hiring full and part-time manufacturing positions for the rock industry. Masaba provides comprehensive training in a clean, safe, and state-of-the-art facility. Masaba offers competitive wages, a fun and interesting work environment and culture. Join our team of rock stars. Visit masabainc.com to learn more.
You want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Interior technician.
Hey, troublemaker.
What'd you do? What did I do about what?
Don't be coy with me, Jerry. All the ladies in the salon were gabbing about it. So why are you in hot water?
No. I'm not in hot water. At Intech, we use hot water. Our trained technicians use a hot water extraction process to deep clean your carpets without leaving behind any residue.
Wait till the Bunko Gals hear this.
Oh, brother. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
The First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Traveling to Vermillion for Tanager football, basketball, or just traveling through? The Red Roof Inn in Vermillion is a place to stay, offering great rates, clean rooms with an awesome continental breakfast. Red Roof Inn does whatever it takes to make guests feel comfortable, making your trip the best possible. And furry friends stay for free. Located on Cherry Street in the heart of Vermillion. Call the Red Roof Inn in Vermillion to make your reservation.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Back here at the Dakota Dome in Vermillion, South Dakota, as the Canton C-Hawks have defeated the Vermillion Tanagers by a score of 32-13. But I tell you what, that final score is not indicative of the game we saw. Now, the first half, definitely, Canton was able to really dominate after the first three possessions, where it went a nice drive by Canton, a 76-yard run by Jeremy Crow, a 98-yard kickoff return by Matt Anderson. After that, Canton really was able to dominate in the first half. So they went into halftime ahead 32-7. In the third quarter, Vermillion had two different shots in the red zone, taking over the ball, or where they had it first and goal two different times. They were unable to convert either time. And then in the fourth quarter, they did score. They did get it into the red zone, managed to score. And then they had a third opportunity and just were unable to convert it. So there were 3 opportunities to score, and if you get a touchdown on each of those, you're looking at a 34-32 game. Their defense really stiffened on Canton there by the end. Held them scoreless in the second half. So what you're looking at is Vermillion really needs to win out. They need to win against Madison next week. They need to win against Belle-Fourche the week after that. And we'll be discussing Madison and Belle-Fourche as we look at some of the scores here on the Carlson Body Shop scoreboard. One score I did want to give, my daughter Leela texted me, end of the third quarter, Dordt leads Mount Marty University 35-22. And in other scores, let's see here. We do have that Husker game that we're keeping an eye on. Give me just a second, and then I'll get to the high school scores. Oh, hey, Bloom might be back on the rows for the Huskers. 8:54 remaining in the fourth, and the Huskers lead Rutgers 14-13. The Mickey Joseph magic is continuing. In and around South Dakota, here are some of the scores we're looking at. In 11A, that game has gone final. Winner beat West Central by a score of 46-12. Hill City beat Custer by a score of 20-0. Madison, who, as we said, Vermillion plays next week, leads Lennox 41-19. Here we go. Canton beat Vermillion 32-13. Beersford beat Sioux Falls Christian 20-18. That was also broadcast over on our sister station, Classic Hits 106.3 KVHT. Millbank leads Sisseton 43-0 at the halftime. Del Rapids beat Chamberlain 35-20. Dakota Valley beat Lakota Tech 49-0. And Sturgis Brown leads Belle-Fourche, who Vermillion will play on the final game of the season, 34-7. So those are scores from around 11A. Let me get to 11AA just a moment here. So in 11 AAA, you have Sioux Falls Lincoln that beat Brandon Valley 34-30. Harrisburg beats Rapid City Central 59-0. As we continue on with our Carlson's Body Shop scoreboard, remember Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford, your complete car center since 1956. O'Gorman beat Sioux Falls Washington 31-14. So your top 3 in AAA are probably going to stay the same. Lincoln and Brandon Valley will probably switch spots. At the end of the first half, Sioux Falls Jefferson leads Rapid City Stevens 25-0. And as we mentioned before, Sioux Falls Roosevelt plays Yankton tomorrow in Sioux Falls at Howard Wood Field. That is at 6 o'clock, and that will be broadcast on our sister station, Classic Hits 106.3 KVHT. The broadcast will be brought to you by 2-time South Dakota Sportscaster of the Year, Joe Van Gore, and myself. I will be running camera. I will be Joe's Jen. So I will be Jen Ashley for Joe tomorrow. But we are joined here by Coach Tom O'Boyle, who is seeing some of the scores from around the state. Seems like you might have been surprised by a couple of them.
I think it was. I was kind of surprised at the Madison Lennox score, but
that was one that shocked me a little bit too.
But more or less, Michael, I'm just at a loss for our first halves.
Yeah,
you just can't come out in the first 13 minutes of a football game and give up 32 points. What we did, we answered back. Jeremy hit a big zone run, and it was a great job, great effort on his part, getting down the field. And, it's 7-7. We write score, and then boom, we don't do our job in a kickoff coverage team and give up maybe a 90-yarder return, and then make another error in the kickoff return game and don't catch the ball, give it back to them and act like we're afraid. So it's
you're exactly right. You couldn't ask for a better response than the second play from offensive play from scrimmage for you guys. Jeremy breaking that 76-yard run, and you think, okay, that that takes that drive away and you feel good. Yeah, then you have a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And it's like, okay, well, let's come back. Yeah, like you said, the pooch kind of kickoff to the up man, he just couldn't handle it, and just gave all of a sudden that momentum continued with him, and 32-7 at halftime. And then you come out in the third quarter. You got into the red zone twice. And so it really
right
felt
down,
like,
and then go backwards. You just aren't performing that into the field. I've got to find a way to have better plays to put us in a position to get in the end zone.
Well, when I was up here, I was talking with Jen. I said, to the audience, I said, when you guys watch film, your players are going to see in the second half that you guys had opportunities. It was, 32-7 going into half feels daunting, but all of a sudden it's like if you get a touchdown here and a touchdown there, all of a sudden everything's completely different. And so the score was not indicative, especially of the way you guys played in the second half, especially defensively. I thought the defense played really well in the second half.
Yeah, Gary made an adjustment, and they went to the old Oklahoma 5-2. People called it 3-4. I was happy. Our kids responded and did that. It's just, we're not getting better offensively, and we're, that's my job to get that done. And tonight we had opportunities. We sure did. The defense gave us the ball on the plus side of the field. We can't get the ball into the in the end zone. So, you know what? Our kids are going to show up, and they're going to have smiles on their faces, and they're going to want our best, and we're going to give them our best next week, and have a good plan. We feel ready, and it'd be nice to be at home again next week against Madison.
Yep, and that will be nice. And like you've said before, you take it one game at a time. You have to brush this off. Just like a big win, a tough loss. You watch your film, but you have to then head into the next week kind of forgetting.
Yep.
Forgetting what went wrong, even forgetting what went right. It's a whole new, it's a blank slate. Like you said, Madison had a great game today, and so they're going to be looking to continue with their momentum. And I know your kids are going to be looking to get some momentum heading into their final two games of the season.
Yeah, we need to, we need to do that, and it won't be because our kids don't care. Our kids do care, and they work very, very hard. So, we love them when we're all smiling, and we love them when we're frustrated and everybody's down a little bit. But that we certainly love what they do and what they bring and how they represent us, and wouldn't trade them.
No, and anybody that's in this crowd or watching in the live stream, they can tell your kids are always gaming. They are always trying. I've never seen a play where you said, "Oh, it looks like somebody gave up on that play."
No, we're not going to do that.
Nope. The kids out there, it's never a lack of effort, and so that's something as a coach I know that you can take pride in, because that's one thing. There's talent, there's execution. Execution can sometimes be a tip of a ball too, but effort is something you always control. And
it's what they do, right?
If your players are always giving their effort, that's always something that you can walk away with as a positive for a team.
I appreciate it.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Jen.
Yep, you have a great one, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
That was Coach Tom O'Boyle here on the First Dakota post-game show. We are bringing you the action following a tough loss to Canton, where Canton beats Vermillion 32-13. I'll continue going through some scores. Right now, you have my phone timed out on me. I apologize. And again, Sioux Falls Jefferson now leads Rapid City Stevens 32-0. And Sioux Falls Roosevelt and Yankton will play tomorrow night. That'll be broadcast on Classic Hits 106.3 KVHT. Broadcast play-by-play with Joe Van Gore. In 11AA, Pierre beats Huron 59-7. T beats Spearfish 49-0. Aberdeen Central beat Brookings 20-3. That's a mild upset. And Watertown beat Mitchell by the score of 24-14. And finally, St. Thomas More beat Douglas 21-8. And Sturgis Brown at half leads Bellefouche 34-7. We went through the A scores. In 11B, you have Redfield over Dakota Hills 52-13. Aberdeen Roncalli over Webster area, 42-0. Winner over West Central, 46-12. Jim River over the Trip, Delmont Armor, Andes Central Dakota Christian, 38-6. Andes Central, of course, home of all Pickstown engineers. Fight song was Anchors Away, Army Corps of Engineers, but it's the Navy fight song. I'm not quite sure what that was, but there is a story to it, and I will try to find that out again before next week as I give you more Pickstown Engineers trivia. Maybe it's more for me than you, but I still love it. Hill City over Custer, 20-0. McCook Central Montrose, 44. Bridgewater Emory Ethan, nothing. I have trouble believing that score, but it's been that way the entire night, so I'm going to go with it. Bridgewater Emory Ethan being blanked like that is really hard to fathom. But we will see. Hot Springs over Rep City Christian, 42-0. Millbank over Siston, 43-6. Elk Point Jefferson, oh goodness, they gave up another touchdown. 48-7 for Elk Point Jefferson over Tri-Valley. That is their second touchdown given up this season. In 9-man football, Jones County over Bennett County, 33-0. Hanson over Viborg Hurley, 48-6. Woolsey Wessington over Britton Hecla, 47-8. Ipswich over Dupree, 68-13. Wall over Kimball White Lake, 54-0. Leola Frederick area over North Central, 58-0. Hamlin over Great Plains Lutheran, 51-0. In a battle, New Underwood over White River with 4 minutes left to go, 28-24. White River has the ball. Platte Geddes over Coleman Egan, 40-0. Corsica Stickney over Freeman Marion Freeman Academy, 48-18. Irene Wakanda over Garrettson, 64-12. Parkston beat Bon Holm, 16-9. Elkton late Benton over Florence Henry, 64-13. Stanley County leads Lemon McIntosh, 34-14. That is Lemon McIntosh. All right, Oldham Ramona Rutland over Sunshine Bible Academy, 38-7. Harding County Bison over Timberlake, 44-22. Colombe 58, Centerville 32. Woolsey Wessington over Britton Hecla, 47-8. Warner over Esteline Hendricks, 50-7. Phillip over Newell, 52-8. Lyman over Sully Buttes, 32-8. Gregory over Burke, 50-7. Castlewood over Waverly South Shore, 54-0. Platte Geddes over Coleman Egan, 40-0. There's that Stanley County over Lemon McIntosh score. Lemon, home of the fightin' Shane Penfields. And 9B, Jones County over Bennett County. Colombe over Centerville. Hitchcock-Tulare over DeSmet, 34-12. Lyman over Sully Buttes, 32-8. Harriet Selby area over Potter County, 58-14. New Underwood over White River, 28-24 still. No update on that. Irene Wakanda over Garrettson, 64-12. Gayville Vollen over Arlington. It says 33-0 in the second, but I think it was there a while ago, so I just think that hasn't been updated. And Kadoka area over Faith, 28-6. So those are your area scores. Brought to you by the Carlson's Body Shop in Beersford, your complete car care center since 1956. Again, our post game has been brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. First Dakota has been serving their customers for over 150 years. Talk to them about your needs, whether it's your business, ag, commercial lending. First Dakota National Bank, celebrating 150 years. In a special shout-out, don't know that they're listening, but the Rosemount Irish football team of Rosemount, Minnesota, have won 49-0. 49-0. Trying to see who they play here. Oh yeah, Rosemount beat Farmington, the dreaded Farmington Tigers. So 49-0. Rosemount is ranked second in 6A in Minnesota high school football. So that will wrap it up for us as we have made it through all of our commercials. So we're going to let you guys go, and we're going to get out of here. Unfortunately, again, from Vermillion, from the Dakota Dome, Canton 32, Vermillion 13. We will see you, and you can hear us next week from here in the Dakota Dome as the Madison Bulldogs will come to visit the Vermillion Tanagers. So, for Jen Ashley, this is Michael Schumacher saying thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to Tanager Sports on ESPN 101.5, AM 1570, KVTK.com, and our live stream on Vermillion Stream.